Well, hello, hello, hello.
I'm finally back on Wednesday night. I feel like I've been gone away, like to fat camp or something. Jeez.
Well, it is good to have you back. It has been too long, Miss Angie. It has been too
It
long.
has been like 3 weeks.
It's been forever. It's been forever. But you will be glad to know that you had some great people who came in and supported you, which is
I
nice.
know.
Yes,
I
yes.
loved it. Everywhere I was just listening to you guys. Like, what are they talking about? I couldn't even concentrate on where I was.
I know you were at graduation and you were still texting. I'm
Messaging,
like,
like, wait, what they say?
yeah. I'm like, oh, somebody's gonna be upset. What they don't know won't hurt them, right?
Exactly.
My hair
Thank
is
you, Miss
flying up today.
Julie.
Look at
This is
this.
my original banner that I had a long, long, long time ago, and then I had changed to the newer one. And so then I pulled this one out again for today.
I like this one. I always did. I thought there was something about the
The
just
hair looks like it's coming out of my head.
yep, yep, yep. I always liked that when there was something again, the colors and everything just kind of just was so much positive energy there, which is nice.
And then I have this camera. I bought this camera when we first started just spiritually speaking, and I never used it.
Is that
And
right?
I'm like, you have a camera, you just need to plug it in. And so now I'm using it.
Well, guess what? It's working wonderfully. And actually, I think the image is even clear, a little bit clearer too, which is nice.
Yes, the other camera I was using is an older computer, so it
Uh-huh.
was fuzzy. I don't even think it's HD, but this one is great. And I broke my other computer that I had, so and I still haven't gone to get another one. I just don't want to go and just have to deal with it, but I have to go and get one either way.
I hear you. I hate the computer. I hate computer shopping. I hate computers for that purpose.
Then
But
you have to put, get everything set up the way you want it to be, and it's just
and it's a bit of a
well,
nightmare. It surely is. Yep.
first world problems.
Exactly. Oh, woe is us, right? Hey, welcome in, everybody. Hey, welcome in, Julie and Jojo and Jocelyn and Kelly. Nice to see you in. Naturally Divine Goddess Jocelyn. Yeah, nice to Emilio. Nice
They're
to see
coming
you
in
in.
fast and furious too.
Yes, indeed. Everybody, tonight we are going back. We're trying, well, once again, doing the. Don, do you have alfalfa going on? I do. Look at this. I don't know what's going on, but it's earlier. There was 3 pieces. Look at this. See it? I don't know what's going on. It's like it has a life of its own.
That's your spiritual antenna sticking out.
It must be. I'm telling you, it's like somebody one day said I have a toupee, which, as you can see, is not a toupee. But I'm like, if you ever thought it was, now you can see it. It has a hair mind of its own. It is. Look at this. It's even worse now. Thank you, Kelly. Now because now, yeah, now you got my hair even flying worse. So yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, good to see you guys in. Anyway, we're offering the opportunity for you if you want a reading and you want to do it live. In other words, ask us your question live. You can come on. You send us an email at Sonoran Mystic Tarot at gmail.com. Again, Sonoran Mystic Tarot at gmail.com. It's right down here. It's popping across. And we will then send you a link with a few ground rules to understand the process. And then when you receive that link, if you click on that link, you'll be brought into what we call a green room, and you'll stay there until we pull you in to ask you the question. Now, when you are offered the question, if you have your camera, if you come into the screen with your camera on, then people will see you live and hear you live. And you'll come up here beside Angie and myself. If you come in and you did not enable your camera, then we will only hear your voice and you won't be on screen. So if you prefer not to be seen, you have that choice just by hearing the voice. Or if you prefer to do both, then make sure you enable your camera when you come in. Again, when you click that link, you'll get the opportunity. It'll say enable camera, disable camera, whatever. And then when you get in, again, you can, even if it does enable the camera and you change your mind, you can leave the camera off. Okay, again, it's your choice. Anyway, Angie, Penny says she loves your background. Absolutely.
Thank you. Lots of people love it. Like this was my original favorite, and I just ordered this one off of Amazon when I first started. It's been over a year, Don. Because if you notice, when we first started, this was the background I had all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
then the other one that I had was the one that I had got from Lise Ann and
GM.
GP. They were at a some kind of a fair or some kind of market in California, and they saw it and they sent it to me. So I try to switch back and forth, but this was always one that I love.
Exactly. And folks, do us one more favor. again, we don't mean to be too particular, but we're going to be to some degree. If you ask yourself a question, if you ask yourself a question, you think, really, is that the best one I can ask spirit? Is that the best one I want to bring to spirit? Is that the best one? If I'm standing at the feet of my divine creator, this is the question I'm going to ask. Really, if you say, yeah, no, then don't bring it to us, because the reality is, and I'm not saying we don't want to answer, we do want to answer, but if you ask me where your damn car keys are, I'm gonna ask you where your brain is.
My guys aren't even going to tell me. They're going to be like, absolutely not. We're trying to take you to a higher level of elevation or a higher level of healing. So we want your questions to be meaningful. Like, how did you move forward in your life? Not does Billy Bob like Susie Q? Like a lot of questions. Like picture it, because I don't think that you guys understand that we're not just reading cards or memorizing what it means. When you ask me a question, I consult the higher power, whatever you call your higher power. That's who I'm consulting. That's who I'm getting the information from. So if that is the person that is standing in front of you, would you ask that question? Is that what you would really want to know? Last week when we had that little thing going across the bottom that said no love readings, my friend just fell out. She was like, she said, y'all got the CNN tickler going across the bottom that says no love readings.
But yet people still ask them. You tell people it's like no love readings, and what do? They still send you love readings. I'm like,
And
how
we
is
get
that
it. We
possible?
totally get it that you guys want to be in love and all that. But I mean, there's 1,000 people on here who do love readings, and we try to give you something a little bit different than love readings. And so we do understand. And then I don't like tapping into somebody else's energy without permission. Like I wouldn't want to just tap into Don's energy and tell you all his thoughts, because essentially that's what I'm doing. I'm reading their energy and telling you how they feel about them. And for me, that's a little bit of invasion of privacy. I don't know that everybody else sees it that way, because I see a lot of readers that are like, oh, what are his thoughts for you? And oh, you versus him and this and that. And that's all well and good. But if the shoe was on the other foot, would you want that person coming to me saying, hey, tell me how she feels about me, or vice versa? And so I just don't like to probe into people's energy in that way. And again, a higher level of healing. We're trying to give you tools and things for you to move forward and elevate yourself to the next level. And so that's all that we ask, is that you ask us a meaningful question that we can really go to our higher power and say, hey, how can we help this person out?
Absolutely. And again, if you have even a general question, you don't even have to ask us a question about your specific life or situation. If you would like spirit to answer general questions, ask us that question. Ask if it's like, say, hey, what's coming up for the world? What's coming up for our country? I mean, or just saying, hey, if I believe X, or if X comes to mind, how can that connect to Y? Whatever, again, pictures, questions that take you to a higher plane, and sometimes the questions that everybody else may have as well. You're welcome to ask those questions. They don't have to be specifically about you or for you. They can be something that the universe of people wants to know. And so I would suggest, offer it, folks. Believe us, we will talk to spirit and come back with something for you if spirits wanted to tell us. So again, it doesn't have to necessarily be for you, about you, and in reference to you. Okay. Also, folks, if you can, don't forget to, if you're on Angie's YouTube, go to my YouTube, click that page. If you're on my YouTube, go to Angie's and click hers, which is what I just had up here. Make sure that you're hitting the like buttons and the share buttons. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. Also, folks, be careful about the scammers. Folks, these people are getting really creative and crafty, but they're so bold, because last week, I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday, I'm doing my live.
It was Thursday. You know, I was watching.
Well, on Wednesday night, it was with Levita, and
Yeah.
Levita, a Levita troll came in as Levita while Levita's reading. And I'm like, okay, folks. And then Thursday morning, a troll came in as me, but they left the hyphen between Rumer-Rivera out. And they have all of my pictures, all of my posts, all that stuff. So it's easy to fall for it to a degree. But again, if I don't come at you, I never come at you. Angie never comes at you. Shawna never comes at you. We invite you in, and we invite you to reach out to us. But if you receive something from us that's not solicited, I guarantee it's not us.
We don't have that kind of time. We
We
barely
don't.
can get to the appointments that we set seriously. So I don't have time to come into your inbox and scam you in that way. because I just don't have that bandwidth to be like, oh, let me go and message 500 people and say, hey, do you want to read it? Absolutely not. My head would explode. Absolutely not.
Exactly. So
Terry
people,
T, I do have some insight on that for you. And I have an example of how that is playing out for me at work too.
super, super. So anyway, there you go, folks. Again, please be careful at the scammers. The one thing you know, generally speaking, is they're looking for this.
And Kelly Dick said, there's always a little difference in the name. Like they'll spell it sometimes a little bit different. They'll use our pictures and everything, but you'll know it's us because we not coming into your inbox. I don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Exactly, exactly. And
Not
folks, the
coming to
psychic
your
fair on Sunday was amazing. Good energy, all that kind of stuff. It was nice. We got Julie in there, so now Julie was at the psychic fair, which was very
I
nice.
heard.
Yeah, now we're gonna try to get her lined up. So we're Susan and
All
Julie and I are all
together?
three side by
Yeah.
side. So maybe we feed each other because there was two times where somebody came to my table, but I was occupied, and then I had somebody waiting as well. And they decided they started talking to Susan, and they wound up getting Susan got 2 readings from the association with us sitting side by side because Susan started talking to them like, oh, I saw you guys and whatever and so forth. We also, it's nice because we had a few people who did see us on the lives and they came to find us on the lives. So I do appreciate all that support. That's wonderful. But it was good. And it was a crazy experience. I had an amazing mediumship experience, which actually had me pretty much in tears. And also 2 other people in tears because when they came to sit down, they asked me about mediumship, and I said I do not sell a mediumship read. I can't guarantee who's coming in because I can't guarantee spirit. I said I'm not Hollywood. This is not Hollywood.
And that's how I do it. If you want a mediumship, I'll do you a general psychic, and if mediumship comes about that way, but I just don't like to have you thinking that you're going to get that person coming through, and it's a very heart wrenching thing.
It is. It is. And in this situation, they said, okay, well, let's just do a tarot. And I started to do a tarot. And after the second shuffle, I looked at the mom and I just said, have you lost a child? And the face I got was one of shock, one of instant sadness, instant joy, because apparently when she sat down, I think that's what she was hoping to have happen. So by the time it was over, this young man came to visit, 13 years old. 2 months ago, he passed. And it was he showed me his artwork. I talked to them. They said, yeah, he was an artist. Showed me sitting playing video games on his big couch and so forth. He showed me his safe space. Since he had been fighting cancer and pain, he created this little safe space because they said that doesn't exist except for the couch, the TV, and the video game and the pictures, but the space that exists because it showed him in like a bunker, like in a walled off basement. And I thought that's his go-to place. And his grandmother was there, her grandmother, the mother's grandmother, and the mother's grandmother was ushering him in and working with him and had been with us. Like, it was really crazy. So it was quite an experience. I was blown away. By the time it was over, the father's in tears, the mother's in tears, my tears are starting to come out. And I'm like, I'm trying to stay,
Oh
but
my
I can't. It was such an emotional feeling. And the problem is that he had been suffering from cancer, but they thought that they had much more time. And then he took a real quick turn. And then by the time the drugs hit, he really wasn't lucid enough for them to have that conversation. And so they really missed an opportunity to have the conversation, And so it was quite something.
Alicia, you are banned. That question ain't even relevant.
Exactly.
This morning, Bonnie and Julie were on, and Bonnie gave me a reading, and all she could see was wedding, love, some man. I was like, girl, who you see? She kept saying, I see a wedding. I said, who get married? Me. That's all she kept saying was a wedding. And I was like, well, I'm with it. I said, look, don't have me go and buy a subscription to Brides and going
Bride Depot.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Also, Kelly, you asked me about the astral travel. Yeah, I did the astral travel last Wednesday after I told you I would. I saged, I put the Palo Santo out. I asked Emily, my gatekeeper, to keep everybody out, and I took off. My dad took me to visit Libby, and I wound up on the side of my aunt's farm on her porch. And it was a long story, but the point is I was brought to her, and my dad stopped me short of going all the way toward her. And my dad told me, no, this is her journey. And at that point, I knew we wouldn't be visiting with her again. And so it was nice that they yanked me back. But at that point, we knew she was no longer going to be on this side. And the next
This
day,
chat is going crazy. I am reading these comments, and Keena is posting all over them, and I am freaking. You are a mess.
exactly.
A straightforward mess today.
Yep. We're gonna put one on. We talked about putting one on Linda, but we haven't gotten one there yet. We're working on it. So there you, Kelly. That was it. It was an amazing experience. But by visiting her at that moment, it wasn't my memory of her. It was just so I knew I was in her space, and I knew she wouldn't be coming back. So
I'm with it, Miley. She said, "Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready." Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, I'm trying to get this body in order too, so I can have this flat stomach, so I can wear these 2 pieces on this honeymoon. Whatever we have to do.
well, then Bonnie better step up her game and get a faster read. Then come on, it's like come on, Bonnie.
Bonnie was reading it this morning. I was like, Bonnie, what? Every time she reads me, and you know, when Libby came back to me, that's what she talked about was the reading that she did for me when she, because every time we would be in class, because they don't know, but Elizabeth was in class with us, and every time she would read me, she would see this King of Cups. This king, she was like, I'm telling you, Angie. And she would describe him to the T. She knew exactly who it was. And she's like, I'm telling you, you just have to be open to it. And I was like, oh, okay. And when she came back, that's what she showed me was that because I have this little notepad. It's a colorful notepad, and I write down all the readings. And that's what she was showing me, that little notepad that I wrote it down on. Yeah, so, yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, Keena, who do we have? Who is the first contestant on The Reading is Right? Also, folks, hey, if you have a chance, do me a favor, do me a favor, pop over to pop over YouTube, and based on your zodiac sign, I did monthly readings of each zodiac sign. So if you go over there and pop up on YouTube, this is also a QR code that will take you there. If you point and click, it'll take you there. But anyway, it's for each of the zodiac signs for the month of June. So
and I love your readings, Don, because it's straight psychic. It's straight what you're pulling from the divine. He didn't do any cards or anything. All of them were straight psychic, and whether you want to hear it or not, it was great. Like it was very good advice. And I did my sun, moon, and rising.
Super. Yeah, I was told by Spirit, don't do the cards this time. I was told we've got you, and they gave me all psychic hits for this one, which was nice.
You will know if you're on the list when Keena at you on your platform to tell you on there. Remember, again, we're on 7 or 8 different platforms, and just because you only see you in the chat doesn't mean that you're the only message that's coming through. They all filter through for us, and Keena is catching you as fast as she can to add you to the list, and she will let you know when you make it on if you're on the list or not. If you don't get a message from Keena, then you're not on the list. If you're on the list and you step away, you need to tell us that you're stepping away. We'll go ahead and do your reading. We just won't have your interaction. But if you're leaving and you're not coming back, or if you don't tell us that you're leaving, then we're just going to skip you and we're not going to wait for you. And we're not going to call your name 500 times. You're going to say, boom, boom, it's you. And then again, if you're on the list and you want to come on live with us, like, with me and Don, either with your voice or with your image, email at the email that's listed below, and then we'll send you a link and we'll add you to it, and you can be live on here with us because we want to have some live fan participation. So come on in.
Yeah, and you don't have to be on the, make sure whether you're, before you even ask to get on the list or anything else, if you want to go live, then send the email, because that's the quickest way to get that taken care of. So again, if you want to go live with either voice and video, then just send the email directly and don't wait for that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna scroll as we start reading. I'm gonna scroll through the rest of the signs. So you guys, depending on your sign, if you want, you point and click, and again, it'll take you so you can mark it. Don't forget that hit the like buttons when you go. By the way, folks, I appreciate it if you do.
You don't have to say, "Can you be added to the list?" Just post your question. Exactly. When you say, "Can you be added to the list?" then we have to find your question, or we have to tell you to post your question. So just post your question, because Keena pins your question, and that's what we draw up on the list when you come through. So Jocelyn. Okay, Jocelyn, this is really what you want to know. Will y'all reconcile Okay, so before I even go psychically there, because y'all just want my head to explode, I just, with these love readings, if you have to ask, like, what was the reason that you broke up? Okay. So consider that when we get lonely, we decide to start feeling like, oh, well, it wasn't so bad. It was so bad that you had to break up. So if you had to break up, do you really want to go back into that misery? Do you really think this person has changed enough that you're going to make it better? Usually at this age, we're not changing. We're not going to be anybody different than we were. If I was mean and Henri the first time, I'm going to be mean and Henri the second time. You just go give me another chance to walk all over you again. So that's my advice at the beginning. But if you want me to do it, I'll do a yes, no pendulum question because y'all kill me with these love questions. Okay. So will Jocelyn and Ryan reconcile and get back together? That was an immediate no. That's what the pendulum is saying. If you decide, because I'm getting that left brain feeling where it doesn't matter what we're saying. If you want to and you're lonely enough, you'll get back with him because you miss him that much. You miss the fantasized version of the relationship that you had in your head. You don't miss what actually happened in the relationship. You miss the fantasized version of what you thought the relationship was. And so you think that if you get back together, it'll be that this time. It'll be exactly what it was the last time. If he didn't pick up his socks last time, he's not going to pick up his socks this time. If he didn't help with the bills last time, he's not going to help with the bills this time. And so I want you guys to really think about what was the reason that we broke up. Maybe that's the reason that we should stay apart. And so you guys want to go get back together. And I'm not saying that that's the reason, any of those are the reasons it is. But based on what the pendulum said, the answer is no, that you aren't going to get back together. But I feel like you're not going to care and you're going to force it back together anyway. And you're going to be right back here in 3 months. They're showing me 90 days. So that's what I got for you, Miss Jocelyn.
Well, that's a quick read then. Kina, who is next?
Can I get a general reading, Samantha?
Samantha, my dear. Samantha, do me a favor. Between you, me, and the fence post, it's just here. Nobody else is here. Just you and me. Just you and me, Samantha. Can you give me something else? You come in and you ask for general, and I don't mind giving general readings, but Samantha, give us something that
This is my question. When you guys, and we love that you come back every week, we do. Are you putting any of the advice that we're giving you to practice, or are you just loving to hear your name on here? Like every week we tell you that this is going to happen. Are you putting these things to use? Because this is my thing. When I go to a reader, if I don't have a question, that means I already know the answers, and I'm just trying to see what information if you're going to pull out the thing that is that I really want to know. So either tell us the thing it is that you really want to know, or I'll just give you a general, whatever pops up, pops up. But if there's a burning question that you have, go ahead and ask what the question is. Don't general us to death. Like, don't come on 3 times a week and say general, 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 general. We want to know that the information that we're giving you is actually helping you some way in your life. If I tell you that a new opportunity is coming, did the new opportunity actually come up, or did you give it enough time? When we give you a reading, you have to give it enough time to happen. I know a reader who won't even read you again until three to 6 months. And then the one medium, Alison Dubois, she only reads you once a year. She's not going to read you repeatedly because she says you have to give the energies time to take place. And so I'll go ahead and give you a general, but let's see what I have for you, Miss Samantha. And actually, as soon as I saw your name, I got the windshield. I got you in a car in a windshield, but the car isn't moving. So I feel like you're stagnant and you're asking us to give you a day. Monday, do this. Tuesday, do this. Wednesday, do this. And we can't give you that. What we can give you is a general energy as for what's coming up for you. And so what they're showing me is you sitting in a car and you're just not moving. You're not trying to move. You're kind of just sitting there eating some chips. You're not moving. You're not moving forward. You're like, well, when it's time to go, the Lord will push the car on down the road with all of his might, and I won't have to do anything. And they're saying you're in a vehicle, at least turn the ignition and turn the car on, at least put it in drive, at least put the foot on the gas. What is it that you can do tomorrow that'll get your life moving forward in the direction you want to? If I tell you there's a new opportunity that's coming up for you, what can you do to get that moving forward? Can you update your resume? Can you get your resume out there? Can you look for other opportunities in the place that you're already employed? So what is it that you can do? What action can you take to make what I'm telling you move forward? So I do see that you are just stagnant and you're just sitting there and you are content with it because you want somebody else to move it along for you. You don't want to take the action to get it done yourself. And what I'm hearing is, I'm not going to do it for you if you're not going to at least, like, it's like saying that you're drowning. I send you a rope and then you don't want to even grab for the rope. You want me to come down there, get in the water with you, wrap the rope around you, lift you back up, and then put you in the and bring you to safety. You have to at least reach for what it is that I'm giving you. I'm providing you these opportunities. What are you trying to do to take hold of these opportunities? And so they're showing me fruit on the vine, and the grapes are starting to turn into raisins. Like they're all drying out, because I gave you a vibrant vine to go ahead and nourish and to get your success and to get your abundance from. Because remember, in the Bible they use vines, and they're giving me um, biblical anecdotes. So I'm assuming that you're sort of a religious person. And what they're saying is, you're letting the vine dry up by not nurturing the vine, or not nurturing the gifts that we're giving you. If you have the ability to teach, which they're trying to show me, I keep seeing education, then why aren't you teaching? And teaching doesn't necessarily mean in the classroom. You could be teaching in some other kind of way, teaching children, teaching somebody else at some at a job or somewhere else. And so they're saying, we gave you all these gifts. How are you nurturing those gifts? Because they're showing me a grapevine that is balling up and that is turning into dried out raisins, which means that you're missing the opportunity that was set before you. And then now that I'm seeing the 4 of Cups, which is you not even looking at it. Like usually they're like this, you don't even, like, you're just looking at the cup and you're like, I'm not reaching for it, pour it down my throat. So you want the divine to do everything for you, to give you step by step by step. Monday, I want you to get up and do this. Tuesday, I want you to get up and do that. And they're saying it's a co-creation. It's not a dictatorship. I'm not with a whip trying to make you do everything that I want you to do. What is it that your dreams and desires are for you, Miss Samantha? So that's what I got for you. So that's all I got for Miss Samantha.
Hopefully it resonates with you, Samantha. Hopefully that there is a message in there. Again, if you have a specific question, please don't hesitate. Come back with it, Samantha, and I'll answer a specific question for you if you have something. But again, folks, again, think about what's happening in your day, what's happening in your life, what's happening in your experience. There are so many things that we could be asking, and so I'm inviting you to dig a little deeper, to connect a little more in your life and in your experience, and then find a question. There are questions there, and just the general questions of, again, it's like, yeah, you can go fishing, but if you didn't bring the right bait, you're not going to get the right fish. So if you come with no bait and you say, hey, I'm going to go fish, and then you get a minnow when you could get a shark, or you could get a tuna or something, anyway, that's that's how I see it. All right.
Basically, what they're saying is, take some action. Take your, like, you don't even have your foot on the brake. You just don't have the car started up. You have the vehicle, you have the opportunity, and you're not doing anything with it. They want you to move forward. I've done a lot of changes to better myself. A lot of people say that. They'll be like, oh, I released. What action steps did you take? I bettered myself. Okay, that's good. But now what action steps are you taking to move forward? And then give me an example of what you did to better yourself. Because a lot of people say, I did a lot of things to better myself, and they mean they washed their hair, brushed their teeth, and put on a new outfit today, which is a good start. But what actually did you do that bettered your life? And when you say better yourself, how did it give you a better outcome in your life, or a better day-to-day thing? What did it do? Like, I get up and walk at 5:30 in the morning. That sunshine, that ray of light gives me that, it wakes me up in the morning, it gets this brain started. And then when I log into work, I'm ready to go, and I'm not sluggish, and I don't need so much coffee to get started. So that's the action item that I take. Also, before I get out of the bed, I say our affirmations immediately. I believe in infinite abundance. All my wants and needs are met. And so what do you do every day? What is your action item that is something for your betterment? So that's what I'm asking you. All right,
Samantha,
so
are you and your spouse Leo and Sagittarius? Or do you have a spouse? I don't remember if you have a spouse or not. Anyway, Leo and Sagittarius came to mind while you asked the thing about the constant, about moving forward and working on yourself. I think that again that imagery came to my mind. And I think the Leo is just that charging forward. It's that lion energy, that pushing forward. I suffer from PTSD. I leave my house now, exercise, go. Exactly. Good. You're single. But are you either Sagittarius or Leo? The most important thing is, Samantha, keep hearing the messages and understanding that you're reborn. You are reborn. You are reborning yourself. You are giving new birth. You are reigniting that flame that is moving you forward. And again, that was the impetus I needed to get something to hit on, which is nice. You're Aquarius. Okay, I think you need to make sure, as an Aquarius, it's nice to have the feelings and the emotions, but with the water sign, but you need to make sure that you pick up on that Leo energy. Stay strong, stay determined. Keep focused on how you can continue to move forward, and remembering that there's nothing behind you that you can't overcome. So
Which
again,
is weird because Aquarius doesn't like restrictions. Aquarius likes to be out and about and, just, and moving forward. They don't like restrictions. And you seem to be putting restriction on yourself. You said you suffer from PTSD. Are you going to therapy for that PTSD? Are you with a group of people who can help you to take action steps forward to move forward? That acknowledging that you have it is the first step, but what are you doing forward? I can say, oh, I have diabetes, but am I managing my diet? Am I taking my medication? Am I getting my exercise? It's one thing to acknowledge that you have it, but what are you doing to improve it? And like you said, you do get out and walk and exercise and say your affirmations. That is perfect. But are you also getting the therapy that you need for PTSD? That is a very serious condition to have. And with the highs and lows of it and the sudden onset of the situations that could cause you to go into that traumatic situation, what are you doing with an outside source that can help you to deal with those things? Because being alone and you have post-traumatic stress disorder may not be a good thing. You may need someone to help you and direct you to get back out into society. And that could be the reason that you're sitting stagnant in the car, is because you don't want to be around a lot of people. But you also need to find ways to cope with everyday life and move forward. So are you working with a therapist?
she said she's had therapy, but that implication is that there is no longer therapy. That's kind of, when you read it that way, it seems like that's the case.
You know that there's more than one therapist. Like there's more than one psychic, there's more than one therapist. If that one didn't work, then you just go to another one. If I don't like my doctor, if I don't like my trainer, I go to somebody else until I find the one that fits. Don't just give up on it and say that it is working, because it's obvious based on the comments that you're saying that you do need some kind of additional therapy. You said you were robbed at gunpoint, so you're gonna live the rest of your life in fear that someone's gonna rob you. I've got into a car accident, but I still get out and drive my car. I've been, Keena was robbed at gunpoint at work. She was at work. Somebody came in with a sawed-off shotgun and robbed her at work, but she still goes to work. She even went back to that job. So I do understand that you have your post-traumatic stress syndrome, and a lot of people have been robbed at gunpoint and they still maintain their everyday life. So what are you doing to move forward in order to get over that situation, or to work through that situation in a way that is meaning for you, that gives you an enjoyable meaning of life? Like a lot of you guys need a little bit more than a reading. You need therapy and help. And there's different kinds of therapy that you can go to that'll help you. There's group therapy. Maybe you need a group therapy for people who've been into those traumatic situations that can help you. Maybe a one-on-one doesn't work and you need examples of other things that people are doing to cope. We're not an island, and sometimes we need that outside help. When my grandmother died, I needed a therapist, let me tell you. And the thing that sparked it, I got on the elevator, and I was in school, I was in college. The elevator stopped all the time. It would get stuck. We would get stuck on there. We'd have to ring the bell. I got on this time, I got stuck. I just fell down on the ground and just started crying like a crazy person. And it was because it was the trauma of losing my grandma. And I ended up going to therapy. She was saying the same thing that my friends and family were saying, but coming from an outside source, it sounded different. And so sometimes we have to find that resource that helps us see it and hear it. Again, we're talking about the full moon that's coming in. I think, is it Sagittarius, Don? Is it coming in Sagittarius?
Don't give me the line.
I can't remember. On my Facebook page, we posted, I reshared a post from Catherine Metcalf, who is a great astrologer, and she was telling us that it's a time to have a different perspective on life and to look at things from another way. And that may be what you need, is a perspective change. And sometimes we need a little help with somebody showing us a different perspective change. All right.
And you guys should go to Angie's page and see Catherine's post.
Oh my God, it is so strong. Like, I read it and I was like, I feel like she just went inside my head and was like, hey, Angie, this is for you.
Yeah, it is so strong and so well. And Catherine knows her stuff. If y'all have a chance, you should go over to her Facebook page, Catherine Metcalf Astrologer. Metcalf, Metcalf, astrologer. She is phenomenal,
Yeah.
and she's. I know her. We also know her. We know her personally, and I can tell you that she is
a hoot.
Yes, she is. She's a wonderful person to meet and to know. And then
And if you
also,
want to know her, go on our YouTube, and we did an interview with her.
oh,
You
exactly.
can see our interview live with her, Catherine Metcalf.
Right.
You could go into my playlist or Don's playlist,
Yep.
and there's JSS on my. If you on my page, you can go to JSS, and you can look in there, and there's all the interviews of all the people we've interviewed, and there's an interview with Catherine Metcalf on there, and you'll just love her.
Her interview, by the way, if you watch it, because we interview how she started doing what she did and now this stuff, but her interview from the very beginning, you will fall off your chair laughing and you will enjoy it along the way through. The time passes and you're thinking, damn, that was so short. I tell you, she is such a fun and lively person. And then,
that's Keena must be posting the Facebook thing.
Okay.
You know, Keena be on it in the background.
I'm like, say, what is that? I thought maybe a troll tried something new. I didn't know.
Usually when we leave with whatever our condition is, we're not healed. If every time I walk into the room, I have to say, hey, I have this, hey, I have that, we haven't healed from it. That's our shield to say, this is what I'm going through, and you have to handle me gently. Sometimes when we lead with what our condition is, we have not healed.
Exactly. Yeah. Keena said that the link, when you see the word host, that's actually comes from us. So it's a safe link. You're welcome to connect it, and that takes you to Catherine's thing. So, so you're safe to know that that's a good thing. That's not a troll link. That's us. That's good.
Yeah. And that'll take you right to her page, and she breaks it down in real people terms. Like, I don't understand trines and transits and all that, but she'll tell you if you go onto the Horos app, it's HOROS, and put all your information in there, it'll calculate your sun, moon, rising, and it'll show you all your houses. And she'll tell you that this full moon is going to affect you wherever you have Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is in my 10th and 11th house. So she said 19 degrees, and Sagittarius is in my 10th house of family at 9 degrees. So that's the house where it's going to affect me in my family.
And the one thing to know is before you go on tarot or horror, before you go on there, make sure you know your time, your exact time of birth, your city of birth, and your date of birth, because date of birth is not enough. You need, because again, it's where everything aligns. So you need to know where you were on the planet and at exactly what time on the planet at that spot.
And it doesn't matter. Just putting in 12 o'clock is a difference than 6, like mine was 6:41. So you need to know the exact time of your birth so that you can put that in. You need to know the city and state, and it'll calculate your sun, moon, rising for you. It'll give you all your houses. It even gives you daily, tips on how to how the transits are affecting you every day. All right. So I hope that helps.
I was born at 4:44.
Oh my God, Don, that has to be special. And that has to be what your fascination with numbers are.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's the sign of love and wholeness, they say. And it's also
of power. I love it.
Yeah. Like I was born to know numbers, I guess.
For stability.
Yeah, I'm liking that too.
I look for because that's stability for me. And so that's got to be good. Triple stability. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, and while we're stabilizing, Madeline Lee, we're not reading. We are not going to interject ourselves in the minds of anybody else who is not you. So when you say you have a new question at Taurus, what are his intentions? Ask him. Ask him. We're not going to tell you what his intentions are. That's not our thing. We're not getting into people's minds. I
don't understand. You people will get birthday suit naked in front of somebody, have sex with them all day, and then be afraid to ask, well, do you like me? Maybe you should ask that. What are your intentions for me? Maybe you should ask that before you get stark raving naked with them.
Absolutely. And thank you, Samantha, for popping in, and thank you for working through the questions. So again, know that there is something there always when you want to. Again, there's always usually something. So don't be afraid to ask it. Don't be afraid to ask it, people. Don't be. Sometimes you're afraid because the answers you may not like it, but that's another story.
The one thing you can't say is that we're not honest and truthful. You may not like what we're saying, but we're honest and truthful. We're not going to flower it up for you and be like, oh, well, I think that Steve likes you. No, Steve is cheating on you and you need to move on. Like, we're going to tell you the God's honest truth about it. And so when you come on here, you may not like what we're saying, but it's exactly what I'm seeing. And I don't know any of you personally or most of you, I don't know personally. So it's exactly what I'm receiving or exactly what they're showing to me. And so I'm just giving you honesty. And my guide said, as long as I say it exactly the way they said, say it, then there's no consequence for me. If they tell me to tell you to quit your job and join a Pizza Hut, then I have to say it just like that. They said quit your job and join a Pizza Hut. I can't say, well, I think maybe you should update your resume and maybe you should look for a new job. That's not what they said. There's a reason that they gave me the words that they gave me and the way that they want me to say it. And so if I don't want any consequence to it, I need to say it exactly the way that they tell me to say it. And Miss Samantha, I do hope that that helps you out. All right, Miss Rodriguez, are you still here? Okay, this Agatha with these love spells, please go somewhere else and stop posting that on here. We're not even trying to hear. We don't do love spell. Nobody wants to bind somebody to them. If you have to do a love spell to make somebody love you, then why would you want it? That is the worst thing that you could do, is make somebody love you. If you're gonna love me, I need you to love me authentically. So I would implore you guys to never do a love spell. That is horrible, to make somebody love you. Because imagine somebody doing that to you and you not liking the person that's doing the love spell to you. So please do not do things like that. That is very I wouldn't like that. Just don't make somebody love you. If they love me, now I had some people that love me that I didn't want to love me, but I didn't make them love me.
Exactly. Yeah. And believe me, you won't. It may not be pretty when it comes back at you.
Exactly. When that karma comes back on the other side. So anything you see on here about love spells, please just report them. If you see any comments, you are free to do it, even if they're not talking to you. Go ahead and report them for abuse or any kind. I think there's something about solicitation or something like that. Just report them, because I would never do anything like that. And that is the most harmful thing you could do to somebody, is bind them to loving you.
Exactly.
Hey, Miss Linda. All right. So Miss Rodriguez, can I get a general reading?
And don't forget, folks, if you are interested in talking to us, telling us your question, communicating with us directly via words and or video, send us an email at sonoranmystictarot@gmail.com, and Kina will receive that, send you a link, and then you'll be able to come live with us. Again, if you don't want to show your face, then you don't turn your camera on. And if you do want to just hear your voice, that's fine. And if you want to show your face, then camera stays on and the video. And we'll entertain your question here. And the good part is, by having that, we have a dialogue, so you can even get maybe a more in-depth reading that way. But hey, that's on you guys. Anyway, don't forget, reach out to Kina with that.
Rodriguez, as soon as I got into your energy, I got you on a racetrack at the start line, ready to take off. You're ready for them to wave that flag for you to go. But they're showing me two different things. There's two different jobs or two different endeavors that you want to start. One of them seems to be cooking, or one of them seems to be crafts or something like that. Like you have two skills, abilities that you're trying to move forward on, and you're not sure which one to go, because they're now showing me the Two of Pentacles. And so that means that you haven't decided or made the decision as to which one you want to do first. So there's two abilities. If it's not cooking and crafts, then it's something that you have an ability to do, and you haven't decided what it is that you want to do. And they're showing me the left side. So whatever is for that left side, more logical thinking and moving forward, that's what they're telling me to tell you to do. But I keep hearing cake, 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 cake. So does it have something to do with your resin work? Okay, so that's what they're showing me, is that you wanting to get that started, or you wanting to get moving forward on that. And they're showing me do you do videos on that to show people how you do that, to show people your interest or show them your work? Like literally, we've had people in our group just post some of their stuff online, and it was selling like hotcakes, and they never even thought anybody liked it or anybody enjoyed it. And it was just something that they did to ground themselves, or something that they did in their leisure, a painting, a craft, something that they did. And what they're showing me is that you get free advertising online. All you have to do is like a video or post what it is that you're doing, and people will inquire. You don't have to get people to do it. And then they show me that right there will rise up and replace your other job, because that's what your passion is, or that's what you love doing. You like creating, and they're showing it to me. You're ready to go, but you're just afraid that if you take off, it won't, like, they'll wave the flag and you'll creep along like a turtle instead of taking off like the rabbit. And they're saying you have to do the groundwork, the behind the scenes work, like get it ready, like put the stuff out there online for people to see what you're doing, and that'll give you the momentum. But it's a go for us. Like they're showing me the flag is ready to drop for you to move forward on whatever this craft is you're having. And you said resin. So I would say, yes, I've been swamped with the new promotion. That's wow. Okay, that's fine. And I feel like the promotion, it's a lot of people movement that you weren't ready for, like dealing with a lot of people. Like, you know how you're very good at doing your job and then they want you to manage people. No, I'm very good at my job. I want to do my job. I make it clear in my job that I don't want to manage people. People be having too many things. Oh, I got to go to the doctor. Oh, I got to take leave of absence. Oh, my son stubbed his toe and I can't come into work. I don't want to deal with your everyday problems. I want to deal with processes. So if you want to put me in charge of a process, I'll do that, and that's fine. But I don't like dealing with people. And I feel like that's where the stumbling block is coming for you with the promotion, is that dealing with the people and not the actual job itself. And they're saying, if you want to move forward with this, it's going to be taking you to get in the trenches. Like I tell people all the time, I have 4 different jobs. I have my Monday through Friday. I have my part-time. We do this on Sundays and Wednesdays. And then I also do personal readings, and we do class on Monday and Tuesday. Nonstop. Every single day of my life is packed, because I want this right here to be my main job. And until it can pay all my bills, I have to do the other stuff. And so sometimes that means I go to all 3 of my jobs in one day. And so you have to decide, is your passion worth you putting in the effort to get it done? Very busy managing staff and clients plus kids. That is correct. And managing people sometimes are just not, it's just hard. And so that's why I give you a promotion. You need to say, well, what does that look like? What am I doing? Are you taking me out of the work that I love to do to deal with people? Or are you telling me that I'm getting a higher level of elevation in the work that I want to do? And I'm getting that maybe you got the people part of it, and that's not exactly what you want. But if you're ready to move forward, it's a go. And it looks like the divine is behind you, ready when you're ready. So that's what I got for you, Rodriguez.
It's interesting. I've got the 10 of Wands, and I'm when I see the 10 of Wands, generally speaking, and when we talk about work and the amount of work that you're putting in, this is saying that amount of heavy duty work, that amount of extra work, is coming to an end. A cycle is coming to an end, and a cycle around work. So again, I think that you hit a cycle, or you just tend to hit a time where a lot was asked. But I'm getting the feeling like, again, that's coming to an end, and you're getting back to maybe some reality or something about that. And we have the Fool here. So again, a new start, again, the beginning of a new thing. And so it's saying it's saying take the leap. Just take the leap and go with this. Again, knowing this will come to an end, that this amount of work at this level is going to slow down, and and then you're going to enjoy what comes after. So take the opportunity to enjoy that. And then there's that 4 of Cups. I love the 4 of Cups. Again, this was given to you. The universe handed you this because they knew you could handle it. If you couldn't have handled it, they wouldn't have done it. Okay. And they feel you're young enough for it. You're awake enough for it. You're capable. So know that you're not being asked of something you cannot do. And look at this. Again, judgment. You put out a lot of good stuff. So this is coming back to you. This is a gift to you. Okay. So know that this is not by fluke. Again, you earned it. You put the work in, and so you're getting it out. You're getting benefit from it. All right. So just keep pushing forward, knowing again that you're capable. And look at this, they're Empress. Again, you got this. You got this. You're in charge. You just have to figure out how to. What happens is when you walk into a situation like this, again, it takes you a while to figure out how to make it work, because again, you're walking in, and you're going to get it down, and it's all going to smooth out. So just hang in there and work through it. Okay, you will get through this, and in the end, it'll all be smooth. That's what I'm getting, and that's near, because that 10 of Wands is what I saw. So again, it's near the end of the work, the extra work, the feeling of, of being totally put upon. That's coming to an end. Okay. Hopefully it helps you. Who is next?
The coaches are coming into this inbox all day. I had to just say a little prayer, like, Lord, can you get rid of them? Can you put them into a little corner and shut down their computer until we're done? This is just ridiculous.
I'm trying to keep up with them, but you're right. They don't miss a beat. They don't miss a beat.
All right, Miss Penny, are you here? And I just don't understand how you can just come into somebody else. And listen, I'm not even asking them to be kind. I'm like, can you lock up their finances so they understand that this is not right? Like, I mean, lock it up. Like, shut that bank account down. Let cryptocurrency take that money, whatever they got to do. Go ahead and take whatever they got so they understand that this is not right. You don't come into somebody else's house and do that. All right, a general reading for Miss Penny.
Penny, let me offer you, while Angie's working on connecting, let me offer you the same thing I did with Samantha. And I'm offering this to everybody. Please, folks, if you're coming in with a general, I don't have a problem. Look, I'll put it this way. I don't have a problem with you having a general reading. But if you do, Angie's doing the general reading. So I'm not doing a general reading for you guys. I've asked you clearly, give me something, okay? The general readings to me are, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you're asking for our time. You're asking us to connect to God. Give us some, you must have something specific you would like. So you can ask for a general reading. Just know that I ain't giving you one. I don't mean to be rude. I'm.
So instead of asking a general, you want to know when your son will go into the military. Is he 18? That's the first part. That did whenever he wants to go in. And a second, I don't tap into somebody else's energy. You're asking me about somebody else's life, which probably is none of your business. If he wanted to know when he was going into the military, he would tell you. Or are you asking what is the decision is going to be about him going into the military? But I'll go back to your general because that's what you asked, and that's easier for me. And I had already got some hits on your general. They're showing me mode of transportation, and the reason they're giving me mode of transportation is because I always want to know how you can move forward. And they showed me you on a tricycle. It's like you reverted back to a childhood, into a childhood way. Instead of, because if you're on a tricycle, that means that you're not using an adult mode of transportation. You're on a tricycle and you're spinning really, really hard on a vehicle that is not going to get you anywhere. You're making it look like you're doing a lot of work, but in essence, you're not doing anything. So on the outside, it looks like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm so great and I'm so perfect and I'm so this. But actually, you're just spinning your wheels and you're not moving forward at all. So they showed me you on a tricycle, pedaling really, really hard and getting nowhere because you've outgrown that mechanism and you need to find a higher level of elevation or a higher level of moving forward. So they're saying step out of the childlike energy and move forward into your adult energy. You're just spinning your wheels and you're making it look like you're putting a lot of effort in when you're not really doing anything. And I don't know you personally. I'm just going by what they're telling me and how they're telling me to interpret. So you need to move forward with what you're doing in an adult way. So maybe there's a situation, there seems to be a situation that you're dealing with and you're acting like childlike. You're not using your adult mind and thinking, okay, well, this is the logical thing we could do. There's a little give here, there's a little compromise here, and there's a little compromise there. And so then we come together and we collaborate and we move forward. You're reverting back to a childlike energy where you're kind of sitting like this and pouting and you're not moving forward in your adult energy. So what they're saying is step outside of that young you, uh, get up. What they're saying is get up off of that tricycle and move forward as an adult. They're saying that you're handling this situation that you're going through in a way that is childlike instead of in an adult way. So I don't know what the situation is, but it does seem to be a relationship issue with a family member or with an intimate person. So when I say intimate, I mean like closer than a co-worker or a girlfriend or something like that. It is an intimate, like a family member, mother, father, son, husband, wife situation like that. And you're dealing with the situation in a childlike manner instead of dealing with it in an adult manner. So if you want this to move forward and you want there to be a decision, you have to approach it with an adult mind and not a childlike, I'm going to pout and stomp my foot and get my way because nobody's going to move forward at all. You're going to keep sitting on that tricycle, spinning your wheels, not going anywhere. So that's what I got for you, Miss Penny. I hope it helped. Who's next, Keenan?
Well, what I see for Penny in reference to military, as in not answering the question specifically about when or whatever, but I think the problem is this: is that when you talk about military, when he talks about military, there is this feeling of concern about what's over there, what is over on their side, is it as nice, and so forth. And there are some steps that were taken to move toward that, but they're not completed yet. And my question to you again is, this is him. He's not quite certain, and this is your energy. So again, the reason why you're being told this is you need to be patient with him You need to understand that he's not ready. So when it comes to, again, not reading him, but reading his energy for what you're dealing with, again, you need to be patient with him because he's just not ready yet. When he's ready, again, he has put pieces together and they'll come together, but he's not ready because, again, he's not certain what is going to work for him and if this is going to be it. So if you're hell bent on the fact that he's going to go in the military, I'm giving you a little indication that it may not, it still may not come to fruition because I'm getting, again, I think that you need to.
Like, is it his decision or is it you trying to get him out of the house and this is the best thing? They'll provide you room and board and income. And so you can just go ahead and move forward. And this is your way of getting him out of the house. And so instead of talking to him like an adult and giving him his options, you're going, well, you should just go. You should just move forward because that's what you want. And that's what that childlike energy is, forcing your wants upon somebody else. Because as a child, we don't understand that everything doesn't go our way. And so you're trying to push him forward to go to something that he doesn't want to go to is kind of how I feel like it is.
Oh, no, Penny, don't misunderstand me. I didn't say it was your idea. When I was reading the cards, I didn't say it was your idea. What I was coming back to you, and I'm reading your energy from the perspective I'm reading the situation based on your energy perspective. So what I was reading is the fact that you're hoping that things move a little faster. And I'm telling you that you need to be patient. That was that patient card because I don't think he's there yet. And so until he's there, you're not, again, you don't have control over this in the sense of you want the timeline to speed up. And I'm letting you know that release it. Be patient with the energy and the timeline because, again, the ultimate decision is his, and I don't think he's there yet. So just let the process work. The temperance card work.
The way that she posed the question doesn't seem like it's his full wanting to go. She said, is my son going, when is he going to go to the military? And when you say, when is somebody going to go? It's like, when are you going to leave my house? When are you going to get out? You didn't say, is my son going to get into the military? Is my son ready to go to the military? You said, when is he going to go? And I look at the way that you pose the question, to me feels like you're trying to push him forward in it and not his desires. So I always look at the way that you when you answer that you ask the question. All right, so I hope that helped you.
Hey, Bonnie, nice to see you in. Brenda Costner, yeah, I saw your question earlier. Angie, this is a quick yes or no. What do you think about that question? She was asking, should she sell her house?
I saw that in the comments just now. I was just going over that. Should she sell her house? And I got like you have a lot of sentimental attachment to it, but is it overwhelming for you, the care of the house? Is that what it is? Like, I feel like there's a sentimental attachment to it. Like, was it your marital home and now you're divorced and you have that sentimental attachment to it? And you're like, well, should I sell it or should I stay or should I sell or should I stay? Let me tell you this. If your option is just knowing the market, if you have a good rate, because people contact my sister all the time to sell her house. And she's like, if I sell you my house at this rate, then I have to go and buy another house that's twice as much as the house that I have and pay more than I pay now. So think about your options in that. I get like there's a sentimental thing that I get that you're holding on to the house, Brenda. Yes to both. Okay. So yes, there is a sentimental. Yes, it was a marital home. Okay. And so you're trying to let go of those memories, but you can revamp the house and get rid of those memories. You can sage the house and get rid of those memories. You don't have to get rid of the house. It reminds me of a relative who moved out of the area. Like her and her spouse split up. And then she just moved out of she just gave him the whole state. Here, you can have the whole state. I just want to start all over. And then she missed it and she had to come back. So what I'm saying is maybe you could just sage the house to get rid of the memories of it and then revamp the whole thing, repurpose the house for something else. You don't have to get rid of the whole house. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. You know, you don't have to get rid of your house. You can keep your house and just revamp it, repurpose it, and make it something else. Like maybe the bedroom that you share together, turn it into a relaxation room and move your room somewhere else. Or, just rehaul the house, have it redesigned and then get that sage in there and then bring in that Palo Santo to bring in the new energy. So it just seems like you have residual energy from the relationship and you don't know how to deal with it. So you're like, maybe I'll just sell the house and move on and be done with it. you have to deal with the personal issues that are holding in. It's not the house that's the problem. It's the issues or the connection that you have to that previous relationship. So you need to deal with those things. It's about to be the full moon. Put that relationship on there and say, I release all the ties to this relationship that are holding me back. I release all the ties to this person that are keeping me bound to this house, or that are keeping me from enjoying this house. So release the relationship to the house and don't necessarily get rid of the house. If you love the house, listen, don't get rid of your real estate unless you really got something better. Keep that house, honey.
Yeah. Well, instantly, as soon as I saw that, my answer was no. This is not the time. You're not ready. And why would you put yourself through that again? I did not sense that this was the time based on the energy I got from you. I don't think you're ready to release it yet. So if anything, this would be a futile effort on your part, which may not be beneficial to you down the road. So don't take our advice. If you want to sell. But if you're asking what we're getting, the energy we're saying is, I don't think, again, I don't see it happening right now.
She says she's trying to get him to stay out of trouble. This is an adult male. You can't make anybody do whatever they want to do, and you're not responsible for them. If the relationship is over, then let it be over. You're not responsible for that. Let me tell you, in my last relationship, when I was done, this person was going through a hard time, and I was trying to help them through this hard time. And my guys told me, hey, he's never going to get his lessons if you're always there to be that person to catch him when he falls. You need to allow him to get his lessons, allow him to get his licks, and allow him to get his karma so that he can move forward in his power. You're holding back his karma or his lessons by trying to be that person. You can't keep a grown man from doing what he wants to do. If he's going to get in trouble, he's going to get in trouble, and he's going to deal with the consequences. You're taking a responsibility that you don't have to have, again, because you're holding on to a tie and you're binding yourself to somebody that you don't have to. When the relationship is done, let it be done, and let them move forward in their newness and their new freedom, just like you move forward into your freedom. Don't hold on to it. Allow him to get his karma so that he can learn his lessons and he can get his growth. How do we get muscles? We break down that tissue, and then it has to rebuild itself, and that's how we get the muscle. But you have to break it down. So maybe he needs to be broke down in order to grow and to be whatever he needs to be, and to get that and to get to the adult level that he needs to be. It's not your job to make this person not get in trouble. If they're going to get in trouble, they're going to get in trouble.
A response to Leanne Stockman. Leanne, I am blessed with the fact that once I give a reading or once I take information from spirit, it goes as quickly as it comes. I don't hold on to it, so I don't have to carry it around with me all the time. And so your question about children and grandchildren and abuse and so forth, I would ask you to review what I said on the message on last week's whatever. Review that, because I do not recall. And again, I'm blessed with the fact that I don't get stuck with a lot of that energy. So I really am no use to you on that one. But if you go back, the recordings are there. You're welcome to see them. And then Cushy something, whatever. Cushy, you're not even one of the two people. So what the hell are you coming on here asking questions about two other people in their marriage? Ask them. It's not our business. I mean, come on, people. Come on. Give me some love here.
Y'all love bombing me to death. Will we get married? Does it look like you're moving that way in that direction? Ask him. What are his views on marriage? You want to marry somebody, you're afraid to ask, does he want to get married? Think about that. What kind of marriage is that if I can't even approach the subject of marriage to you? You shouldn't have to come to a psychic to say, well, does he want to marry me? You should be able to have that conversation with that person. Hey, we've been dating 5-6 months. Are we moving in that direction? Are we looking at rings, or are we looking at just a fling? Like, these are things that you should be able to ask your spouse. You shouldn't have to come to the heavens to ask about somebody else's feelings towards you.
Well, and even worse, I think this, if I read right, Cushy's was about two other people.
No, she's the person.
She is.
She is one of the people. But again, if you're intimate with this person, why are you coming to me? You can get naked, stark raving naked in front of somebody and have sex with them, but you can't ask them if they want to marry you. You probably should have asked that before you put up all your clothes.
Oh my goodness.
When are you going to win the lotto? Are you playing the lotto? That's what they asked me. Listen, I want to win the lottery, but let me tell you when the last time I played, probably 6 weeks ago. I can't win a lot. You can't play if you don't win. They tell you that in the commercial.
Whenever you give me the winning number, Penny.
Listen, and say this: I believe in infinite abundance and all my wants and needs are met. Visualize yourself going to the store, playing whatever lottery that you so far choose to do, and then visualize yourself seeing the results and you winning, and you going to pick up your money. And that's how you do it. It's all about manifestation. It's all about calling it in. It's not a magic thing. I don't look into the future and they say, oh, July 14th is the day she's going to win. When are you going to call that money into you? When are you going to say, hey, Lord, I'm ready for this money. I'm going to play this lottery today. I need you to bless these tickets so I can win. When are you going to call the money into yourself? It's all about manifesting. It's not about a magic trick. I can't give you a date if you're not even playing the lottery. All right, Miss Angels. All right, so did we do Christina? No, we didn't. She wants a general. Woo, y'all is general me to death. So y'all, everything in y'all life perfect, so y'all ain't got no question. Exactly. Oh my gosh, Don. Jesus Christ, people. Like, what the Lord? I feel like saging this whole computer, just throwing it all over it like a flower. What is wrong with y'all today? Okay. Can I get a general for Christina? I immediately heard, what are you waiting for? Like, what is the holdup? We keep telling you to move forward. We keep telling you the past is blessed. It's like they're showing me the Michael Jackson video where the light things light up. And it's like you see the path ahead of you lit up. And you're like, well, what do I do next? Step forward. They're saying, when are you going to move forward? When are you going to do what you're going to do? Or are you just going to keep asking what you should do? They're saying, when are you going to put some action behind it? We're not going to push you. We're not going to pull you. We showed you the path. We gave you the answers that you need to move forward. We can't give you the minute by minute, play by play. You need to take some action. So when are you going to take the next action step to get everything the way that you want it to be? When are you going to do what you need to do in order to get this party started? Like, I want to do this every day. I want this to be my regular job. So what do? I get on here every Wednesday and every Sunday after I get done working. Like I say, some days I do all three of my jobs together because this is what I want to happen. They've already told me that there's going to be success in it. It just takes time to build. So I have to keep moving forward in this thing. So today I worked my regular 9 to 5. Now I'm doing this, and it's possible that I could go to my part-time job after this. So I'm doing all three of them because until this income takes care of all my wants and needs, I have to do them all. So what are you doing to move your dreams forward? What are you doing to try to get yourself on the road to victory? Or are you just waiting on somebody else to say, okay, well, go ahead and get in the car, start the engine, turn left, turn right. And then when you get to this house, ask to speak to Don Lemon, and then he'll tell you what to do next. What action steps are you taking to make your dreams come true? We've already given you the blessing. We've already showed you the road paved with gold. When are you going to start walking the journey? When are you going to step out of your comfort zone and start doing what you need to do to move forward? Asking me for a general reading every week is not going to get you any movement forward. So what they want to know is, what is your next step? What can you do to get yourself moving forward? They're telling me to tell you to get your top 5. What are the top 5 things that you want to accomplish by the end of 2023? So if you laid up, so if I think about the top things that I want to do for this year, I want to save this amount of money. I have a goal in mind as to how much I want my bank account to be at the end of 2023. That's my very first goal. My second goal is that I want to increase my viewership on YouTube. So how do I do that? I do more things on YouTube, make myself visible, and I call in and ask the universe to bless me with those things. What else do I want to do? I want to find a house. I'm ready to move into a house. So look, that's the next thing I need to do is find a house. I also want to have a steady love relationship with somebody who I am actually in love with. So what am I doing? I'm dating. I'm on dating apps. I'm meeting people. I'm going out on dates, and I'm enjoying the time that I'm spending with these people. I also want to get my child ready for graduation. And so I'm checking on him daily to make sure that so what are your top 5 things that you want to accomplish for this year? I also wanted a Cadillac truck. So Cadillac truck may or may not be in my cards, but those are the top 5 things I want to do. My guys never have to ask me what it is I want because they already know. So what are the top 5 things that you want to accomplish this month? Or what is the 3 things that you want to accomplish this month or by the end of this year? Give yourself a list and then say, okay, well, if relocating is what I want to do, I want to move out of state. Okay, so what state do I want to go to? What city do I want to go to? what kind of house do I want to live in? What kind of job do I want to have? And then start to do. Have you guys ever heard of one of those little I can't forget what they were called, but when you're at work, you start with an idea here, you start with a word, and then you just bubble out all these little things over. So house is what I want. And so then I say, well, where do I want the house? How much can I afford? What kind of house do I want? And so I create all these little branches from that one big bubble that I created, from that one big idea, and then I start working on those smaller little bubbles. And even those smaller little bubbles may, okay, what kind of house can I afford? I don't know. So let me go and find out and go to a financial planner to find out how much I have to do. You can do a vision board. I'm a list person. I'm not a vision board person. My last vision board is balled up in my room. Like I took that bad boy off the wall and it's like this. It's inside of one of my totes in there like this. So vision boards aren't my thing because that doesn't work for me, but lists work for me very well. Okay, check off that happened, check off that happened. So whatever it is that you need to do to help you to move forward, that's what you need to be working on. Get your list of things that you need to do. So again, what are your top 5 things that you want to accomplish by the end of this year? What are the top 2 things that you want to accomplish by the end of the month? Get that list ready and then bubble out branches from that as to what you can do to accomplish those things. And when you start doing that, then you start seeing that your dreams are coming to fruition. Like I said, I want to be the first person. We have a celebrity theater here. I want to be the first psychic at the celebrity theater with a live audience with me and Don and Keena in the audience, passing the microphone, and we're doing live readings like this with a live audience. I want to be the first person in Arizona that does that. So what do? I do this. I see myself over and over and over again on that stage. I see this, I speak it out, I tell them that's what I want. I visualize me doing it, and then I do the things to get to work on my ability so that I am king. So that when I get ready to do those readings, that energy comes, that stuff comes in. I've called in my mediumship, guys. The one thing that our mentor told us, because I used to be like, oh, I'm not good at mediumship. She was like, oh no, stop saying that. And so I started to say, I'm getting better at mediumship. And you know what I'm doing? Getting better at mediumship. Them ghosts be coming in left and right. I'll be like, hold on, slow down, soldier. You wasn't invited. And so you have to do what you need to do in order to accomplish your goals. So again, do your top 5. Remember Verizon or T-Mobile had that top 5? Get your top 5 ready and move forward. Who's next, Keena?
Thank you, Leanne. Had to take a little quick break there. Oh, while we're waiting for the next person, Angie, look at this. This is not healthy. And I can't believe somebody did this to me. I don't need another unhealthy food.
I saw you post about that. I didn't know that you had really saw them in the store. Did you taste them? Are they good?
Oh, baby, look at this.
Gosh,
Look how much is gone.
Oh. They're crackers. They don't even help. They're little fish. They don't even help.
I'm telling you, I love Old Bay seasoning. I'm from Baltimore. We do it on our crabs. I love it on potato chips. And I'm telling you this. Oh my God. I have people in Baltimore who were asking me to mail them because they can't get this. They're asking me to mail them from
here. Where did you get it at, Don?
I got these at Albertsons and I got them on sale, believe it or not, because they're a brand new item. They are amazing. I love Old Bay seasoning, and this is, and look at them. They're just, oh my gosh. They have that little color of like they're yellow, but they have a little bit of the hint of the red.
I can smell them through the screen because you know I love me some Old Bay, and I will put that on me some chicken. I'll put that on sometimes I'll put it on my green tomatoes. Like Old Bay is a very good season. I love that taste.
When you come to my house and my fried chicken, you will taste a bit of Old Bay because it's
a higher level of taste. Yeah.
Yep. It is on my chicken.
Patty Singer says Old Bay is a staple in her house. Amen.
Yep.
Amen.
Yep. So they have these. They're so good. I'm telling you, folks.
Albertsons.
Yeah, we had them in Albertsons.
I'm definitely gonna have to go and see what it's like.
I've had 3 people in Baltimore say, mail me some because I don't pay because I can't get them. And I'm like, you got them. So I went shopping the other day and got a bunch.
Oh my gosh. I love goldfish crackers. And that is like, they had me locked when they invented the pretzel kind, the little pretzel goldfish crackers. I was in there buying, and they used to be 5 for $5 at Fry's. I was buying them. The regular kind for the kids and the cheese kind for the kids and the pretzel kind for me. Oh, but now I got to try these Old Bay. Definitely got to try these Old Bay.
They're good. They are good. Oh my gosh, they're too good.
So Patty Singer says, a general, if the list is open, she says, on my spiritual learning aspect. Okay. So this is how they show me you, Patty. They show me you trying to meditate. They show me you trying to connect, but you're trying so hard. It's like, this is how they show me you. Your eyes shut, and then you're really trying to dig in and get in there because you think it's going to be a grand spiritual moment, which is what I thought. Like, it's going to be like the house is going to start shaking, like there's an earthquake. You're going to hear this grand booming voice from the Lord that's going to be like, Patty, move forth on your path. It's not like that. It's subtle things that move you forward on your spiritual path. Like I said, my mentor told me to stop saying that I'm not good at mediumship, and I just changed the way that I spoke about mediumship. I didn't try to get into mediumship any harder. I didn't take any more classes. I literally just changed the way that I spoke about it. I used to say, I'm not good at mediumship. As soon as she'd be like, okay, mediumship, the whole room would drop. It would just get dark and nobody wanted to do anything. But now when you say mediumship, I say, I'm getting better at mediumship. And like I said, you know what happened? I started getting better at mediumship. So if you want your spiritual path to get better or your spiritual learning to get better, just be open to it. This is what I ask my guys all the time when I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. What is my next step? How do I get from where I am now to where I'm more open to receiving my spiritual messages or understanding the things that you're sending to me? Because it looks like they're sending them to you. Like, I see arrows and lasers and little flashes coming towards you, but you have a shell over you that it can't get through. So you're getting the spiritual messages, but you're not, they're sending them, but you're not receiving them. So what you need to do is say, hey, how can I be more open to receiving my spiritual abilities? How can I be more open to receiving my spiritual messages? How can I be more open to understanding the clarity of the message that you're doing? So you ask that question. Literally, I asked them the other day, how can I wait more productively? And when I say work went ziggity boom, from the time I logged in, from the time I logged out, for the last 2 weeks, it's been work, 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 work. You know what? I'm gonna never ask them again. How can I work productively? I got it. Shut up, Angie. I'll take sitting for 500, Alex. Never again. I'll just sit there. I'm not moving no more. So if you want to know how to spiritually move forward, or how do you learn the aspects of what it is, specifically ask. That's all you have to do is ask your guides or ask the higher power. Like I tell them all the time, look, I'm not getting it that way. 1 + 1 ain't adding up to 2. So you need to figure out another way to tell me. And you keep sending me into this brick wall, all we doing is getting a heart. All we doing is getting a knot on my forehead. If you want me to learn, you need to provide another way for me to learn. I'm not getting it. And so it's a co-creation between you and your guides, or you and your higher power, where you understand what the message that they're trying to give to you. Like, I know I've learned now that when there's a silence, like some of the things that I've heard from the Bible make so much sense now, or some of the things that I heard my grandmother say, like when the during testing, the teacher is silent. So I've learned a lesson, or I said I've learned a lesson, or they put me through this whatever, and now they're silent. So I'm asking, so when they're silent, it's time for me to grow. It's time for me to understand you're moving to the next level. You're moving up a bit. So I'm silent to see that you're using the things that you learned. So I taught you how to do mediumship. I taught you wanted to get better at mediumship. Now them ghosts are coming in, but you don't like the way that they're coming in. So you got to understand how to balance the energy that's coming in from these ghosts or from these spirits, and how into your daily life. You got to understand how to control them. I gave you what you wanted, which is better mediumship. So how do you control the spirits that are coming in? So that's a communication that I have to understand. And once I get to that level, then they'll come back and they'll start talking to me again. So you have to decide how you want them to communicate with you, and just let them know. Again, it's a co-creation. It's not a dictatorship. They're not just going to be like, hey, now you can see, now you can hear, now you can feel, now you can smell, taste, or whatever. It's all going to build on each other. Again, I've had visions since I was 5. I could hear since I was a child. But then as we started to go to Monday night class, I started to taste. When they wanted me to know it was the ocean, they would give me the taste of salt in my mouth. When they gave me the feelings, I didn't like it, but that didn't mean they took it away from me. They build on the abilities that you have, but you have to understand what you already have in order to get to the next level. So what are you doing to build up? Like, I see you trying to meditate. So meditation doesn't work for you because you're doing it the same way that I did it. Sit there with the music and listen to somebody go, that didn't work for me. The meditation that worked for me, getting outside and walking, and then I could hear them clearly because I had to concentrate on where I was going and not on everyday life. And I was just enjoying the sunshine and the birds and the trees and the flowers and the people walking by, or trying to keep somebody from trying to pick me up like I needed a ride on the street. So all those things kept me out of my left brain. And so spirit was able to be like, hey, I'm here. And so then I could hear clearly. My second job is a repetitive job. So they come and speak to me clearly there because I'm not so trying to find them. They find you when when it's silent enough for you to hear them over everything else that's going on. Even if you sit in a chair and try to meditate, all those different techniques that you can, sometimes you still can't settle your body enough to get into it. And so you have to try something else. So try a different meditation technique, because I see that that's what you're doing. You just have to figure out how it's going to work for you. Whatever works for everybody else doesn't work for me sometimes. And like I said, walking, doing dishes, doing laundry, watching a TV show. I listen to a lot of readings over and over again. All of those things work. And now when I do a meditation, I came back to it and now it works for me. Like we did a meditation yesterday, loved it. It was like a 5-minute meditation, boom, 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 went right into it, got my images, got my messages, and I was ready to go. So you can't always start off the same way that somebody else starts off. You need to find out what works for you. So that's what I got.
The only thing that I have to add to that is that it's more in the line of your biggest issue right now, Patty, and the issue that will confound you for a little while longer, because you really do have to kind of get through it, is the suppressing your ego. And when I say ego, folks, I don't mean our egotistical ego. That's not the ego. The ego is our mind, and it wants to stay in charge of your body. It wants to stay in charge of your mind, your thinking, your timeline, all those things. Because again, surrendering, we're told to not let ourselves go. We're not told to not let ourselves release. And so then we're trained not to give in and let our mind kind of surrender for a while and go quiet. And so the one thing I'm getting for you, Patty, is that you need to, you can, should, will eventually get to the point where you can surrender to spirit, let spirit have to a degree some control. You have to let them have some control. And when you do, that's when you're going to get that move forward, that surge forward with your skills, because they want to talk to you. They need to talk to you. You want them to talk to you consciously, but subconsciously, again, the ego comes in and it blocks, because it's like, I can't believe this because it's not the way I'm intended to receive it. It's not you and what you intended to receive. That's the point. You need to make sure you pay attention to the fact that it has nothing about you. If you want spirit to talk to you, then listen to spirit, and spirit will talk to you, but again, in the best way they can. So what I would suggest to you, Patty, is to first and foremost take a tapered candle, light it, and focus on it for 5 minutes. Do it the same day every day, the same time every day. And again, only 5 minutes. Do not do it any less. Do not do it any more. 5 minutes. And focus only on the candle. It's going to take a while for you to quiet your mind and to allow your mind to only focus on one thing. And over time, and for the first 2-3 days, you're still going to wonder. With 2 minutes, you're like, damn, is it 5 yet? Is it 5 minutes? You'll start finding reasons to take your mind off. After a number of days, maybe a week or two, you will find yourself surrendering finally to spirit and focusing to the point where now you can quiet your mind. And that's when you ask your mind to please step back. And when spirit comes in, you're going to know it's different, because it's going to be heavier, it's going to be stronger, it's going to be more intense. And when they do, they deliver messages in a different way, in a different thought process than we would use. I mean, there's things I get direct quotes and things from time to time, and I'm thinking, that's not me, because I don't think that way. I would never speak that way. But that's so if it's not my thinking, if it's not the way I would write syntax, if it's not the way that I would think a thought through, then I know it's not me, because it can't be, because I don't think that way. I know my way of thinking. I've written enough, I've talked enough. As you see, I put out a lot. So the point is that that's how you know. But start with the candle, and this is to everybody, not just Patty. This is to everybody. If you're having a problem connecting to spirit, or if you want to quiet your mind and maybe work toward connecting to spirit, take a candle, a tapered candle, focus only on the flame, do the same thing for 5 minutes every day. And don't be surprised after the first week, week and a half, you start hearing spirit talk to you. And it could be, and then not talk as in here. And don't get me wrong, because that's another thing that throws people off. They're thinking that somehow, all of a sudden, somebody's going to come up here and whisper in your ear. No. Again,
she heard them call her name.
Is that right?
So when you heard them call your name, did you say, who's there? I'm listening. I can hear you. Or were you just surprised? They're like, oh, who's calling my name? You didn't see anybody, so you let it go. At that moment, did you acknowledge them? Did you say, hey, I'm here? And you don't have to say it out loud. You can say it in your head. Hey, I'm listening. And then you write down whatever it is they're saying. Or you capture that thought that was going through your head at the time that they were giving it to you. Because sometimes it's not necessarily a message. It's the changing of your thinking. What were you thinking at the time that they had to get your attention? Were you having a negative thought process and they needed to correct you? Listen, our guys come to us. Listen, down with that. Listen, down, that's your spiritual antenna. Listen, they come to us in all different ways. Look, they trying to reach down through his hair. They come to us in all different ways. And so you're not always going to get the same thing every single time. Like, listen, we so open now, they come in our dreams, they come in our food, they come in our music, they come in our videos, they come through different people. So once you open up, it'll continue to expand, but you have to acknowledge that you even received the message and that you know what's going on.
Exactly. So again, everybody, you can do this, and you will be surprised at how open you will be to getting communication. So enjoy, take the opportunity, try it, enjoy it. But even if it doesn't work for you, even if for some reason you can't seem to release, I tell you what, if you do this for 2 weeks straight, you'll feel relaxed at least, because it does help you to at least relax, and it helps you to shut your mind down. And some of us, actually, that's all we need is that.
And LMT says angel numbers for her and TV. Like literally, when I'm having a down in the dumps day, because you said it was stressful at work and you were distracted, or they were distracting me. Maybe it was a stressful day and they were trying to calm you down, or they were trying to get your attention to say, hey, I'm here. Tell me what it is. How can I help you with this stressful situation? Kina says that music helps her. Comedy helps me. I love to laugh. And so I love to make others laugh. And so you'll see on my Facebook page that I'm constantly posting something about laughter, because I love to laugh. And so I want to share my laughter with others. And so a lot of times when I'm down in the dumps, I'll just go and turn on a comedy or something that's funny, or something that is feel good to me. And that'll get me out of that down in the dump feeling. And then now I'm more open to receive their messages.
Yeah. And Stephanie said that they came through her, a lady on the beach that she met yesterday. Again, you never know who the message is. You never know who the messenger will be. You never know what the message will be, but when it's spirit message, you know where it's coming from, and ultimately, because the feeling is very different. I'm telling you, it is so very different that there's no question. Wow, that's not mine. I didn't own that. You know.
And so, me and Don were having a discussion just a couple of days ago. I was thinking about being totally done with the whole situation. Like, I'm just done with this metaphysical, because sometimes it's so heavy. And then you heard me say tonight that I wanted my mediumship to get better, but then they started sending me the spirits in a way that I wasn't ready to receive. And so what I have to do is to learn how to temper that and balance that receiving with my day to day, and balance those emotions, because I was totally ready to walk away and just be done with it. Like, you know what? All these spirits can go to hell, and so can the higher power and everybody else. I'm just done with it. I ain't reading another card. I ain't doing nothing else. Have a bonfire. I ain't gonna go to the level that Kina did, because Kina gave away all her cards when she was done with it. But I was ready to shut it down. And sometimes you have to know when you're ready to shut it down. I just didn't feel, and let me just be honest and transparent. I didn't feel appreciated. I didn't feel like you guys appreciated the reading and the information that we give to you. I felt like you all thought these were parlor tricks and that we weren't using our abilities to the best of our, like, we hold on. Well, I hold on to these messages and these readings for you guys. And then Don and I, we dig deep. When we get done, we are exhausted because we've been consulting these higher powers. We've got into that energy. And I just feel like you guys were not appreciating us. The least that you can do is like, share, comment, and subscribe. It costs you nothing to do all those things and get the views up and get the subscribers up. Don is trying to get to 1,000. I'm trying to at least get to 500. All we ask you to do is like, share, comment, and subscribe. We are working our ass off for you guys, and I just felt like you guys didn't appreciate it. It's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to show it and show us what you're doing, to come back and tell us how things are working out. You want us to give, but the least that you can do is to give us a subscribe, give us a share, give us a comment, give us something that shows us that you really, really, really do care and that you understand that we are trying to raise you to a higher level. So I was ready to be done with the whole thing. So that's all I'm saying. If you don't see me on here one day, that's because I was like, you know what, to hell with it. These people don't appreciate me, and I'm taking my talents to South Beach. So Don is at 832 and I'm at 310. We're just trying to get our numbers up. So go like, share, comment, subscribe, get the views up. Look, we're trying to make it to the celebrity theater. Can you all say that? Can you all let the celebrity theater know? Tag the celebrity theater. Tell them that we're here. That's literally what I want to do. Be on stage with Don, Kina in the audience, man in the chat, and we doing these live readings for you right there on the spot. Like I literally want to do this live. Where we step out of here, because I want multiple streams, multiple things that we do. So we do it live in person, and then we do it on here. Then maybe we do a podcast. I want to give you as much of us as you can get, but I do want to change the method that we give it to you, and we want to give you a higher level of elevation. And I'm trying to meet Oprah. Do y'all hear me? Listen, I already see me sitting on Oprah's deck, having some wine from her vineyard and some vegetables from her garden. People, let me meet Oprah. Why is y'all stopping me from meeting Oprah? That's all I want to know.
And Patty, the one way to get beyond the fact of making time is to schedule the appointment with this event. Schedule the appointment with that candle the same time every day. And believe me, if you schedule that appointment the same time every day, you will find time, because it's amazing how if we schedule something, we make it fit. Another thing that you should do, by the way, is during that same, you can make it a little another time, is if you want to start speaking to your spirit guides, have a spirit guide meeting. Schedule a time every day and have a spirit guide meeting with your spirit guides. Call them in and say, let's have a conversation. This is what I'm wanting for the day. If y'all are able to help me, come forward. If this isn't your area, then move back and help me to make this day a wonderful day. Again, everybody, I'm serious, everybody. You may think I am crazy as can be. And if that's the case, that's fine with you to do. But I'm telling you, everybody has spirit guides. If you have a conversation in the morning and say like 3-minute meeting with the spirit guides and say, okay, 7 a.m. every morning, we're meeting 3 minutes. Spirit guides, come in. This is what I'm doing today. This is what this is what I want today. If you can help me, come forward. If you can't, step back and let me be free, or bring me somebody else in that can, whoever it takes. But I'll bring them in. And when you start doing that every day, you'd be amazed at what you accomplish. Because guess what? Then you're including your spirit guides verbally, and also you're including them and saying, hey, this is what I anticipate from you. Again, you put them to work. That's what they're there for. They want to work. They want to help you. Otherwise, you're flailing around like, oh my God, I'm lost. You don't need to be lost. You don't need to be lost. Okay? Call the spirit guides. Okay? Anyway, next.
All right, Miss Patty. Thank you for letting us get our rant out and letting us, tell you our emotional issues and our therapy is necessary. But that's how you get your spiritual learning aspect up. And I hope that helped you.
And $10. Thanks for the confirmation and the comments, because that was wonderful. Did you read his comment there?
I did. I heard he said he had the most fun that he's had all week today with us, and I really do appreciate that. He told me that last night because he was one of the people that read me in class, and I let him know, and he was like, I really do appreciate you. And I do get the appreciation from him also. But a lot of times, like, we'll come on here and they won't even say hi. They'll just be like, can I get a reading? Can you tell me if Bob loves Susie? Like, come on now, give us a minute to get in there and tell you how our day was. This is therapy for us, just like it's therapy for y'all. Exactly. LMT said, Angie, just this AM, I woke up feeling scared. Low remembered your advice and read my board and did my 369 notes. You are my making a difference. That 369, that manifesting, I love that. And that is something that I learned from Miss Shawna. She was on a live with Don and she mentioned the 369 method. And when I say that changed my life, that helped me with my manifesting. And then it also brought me to the next level of saying our abundance affirmation every day. Am I far down on the list? Miss Leanne, I don't know. You can ask Keena, but Keena, you go ahead and put Quinn up. Quinn, are you still here? Because it was a long message about her job, and I got an instant. Okay, you wanted me to come back and let you know about the job position. After I accepted it, not panning out the way it was told to me, it's giving trust issues. So I have been a bit in a funk. Things that were to come with it. Well, wait, wasn't there more to that? Oh, because there's more to it. You can't read the rest of it. We can't hear you, Keena.
Oh, I see. Okay, it says here, again, please add me. Angie, you wanted me to come back and let you know about the job position. After I accepted it, is not panning out the way it was told to me. It's giving trust issues, so I've been in a bit of a funk. Things that were to come with it have been basically taken back. And all I got was an oh, I apologize. So I had to think about my dad, and he would not have wanted me to move furniture. So I left for the day.
When she says move furniture, that's kind of like we about to fight in here. We about to move some furniture around. So that's what she meant. She left before she got to moving furniture around. I know her dad, and you would have moved some furniture around, honey. So this is what they're saying to me. You have options. What are your options? Do you look for another job and move on, or do you stay there and take the abuse? When we get into a relationship, it starts off a certain way. There's the promises that are made. There's things that we think they're going to happen out. And then as we get to know each other, it doesn't pan out the way that we want to. So what do? We either stay in that relationship and take the abuse, or we move forward and let it go. So at this is your crossroad. They're literally showing me a fork in a road. Do you need to move forward, or do you need? They're showing me that you had a prayer of abundance, that you wanted to make more and you wanted a different level of commitment, like you wanted more administrative and less people dealing with people, because we just don't like to deal with people. And they're saying this is your opportunity to decide: do I stay here in the place that I am, or do I excel myself forward? Because you got the title change. You take that title change, you take all your new duties, you put that on your resume, and you use that to bounce you to another place. So are you going to stay in this position that you don't like, or are you going to use this opportunity to move forward and excel and separate yourself from this situation? So they're saying this is they're telling me to tell you to think about the power of your words. You ask for advancement, you ask for more abundance, you ask for more forward movement in your career, and this is your opportunity. A lot of times we think forward movement in our career means, oh, I got promoted again. Oh, everything works out. Sometimes it becomes a difficult situation that lets you know that you need to move on. This could be the perfect time to apply for somebody else, or to apply for another job, or to get out of there. You're comfortable in the job where you are because you've been there for a while. But what they're saying is now's the time to use all that all that title that you have and all those skills that you have to go somewhere else. So we always think it's going to happen a certain way for us. Advancement's going to happen this way. Advancement's going to happen to me that way. No, they're saying, are you going to stay in there with the lies or the dishonesty that you got and the work and the situation that you don't like, or are you going to use it to move forward to another opportunity? Because they're showing me a totally different place. I keep seeing these red walls. Like I keep seeing it's a new facility and the wall is red. When you come into the receptionist area, it's a red wall, and you're behind the scenes doing a totally different job than what you're doing now. Because I feel like right now you're doing 3 jobs. I wanted to say 2, but they corrected me and said you're doing 3 jobs. So you're doing the job of 3 people, and that's what the problem is. They got you in there thinking that you would come in and do this one thing, but then you're doing this, and you're doing this, and you're doing this. So are you going to give me 3 salaries, or am I going to have to leave for something else? And so what they're saying is, you need to decide, are you going to stay there and do the job of 3 people and get paid for 1 person, or are you going to take this opportunity to move on to another job? And then now you know what questions to ask. What does the day in the job look like? What are the actual duties that are coming out? Okay, it says that when they ask you a question, when they say, do you have any questions? What does a day in the job look like? I always ask that. What are the tasks that I'm going to do every day? What is it that what are the opportunities that I have for advancement? So those are the kind of things that you're going to ask on your next interview that maybe you didn't ask on this interview because you were so happy and grateful for what you got. And so what Spirit is telling me, we see your gratefulness, we see your gratitude, we see your appreciation, but it's not meant for you to just stay there. Sometimes it's just a building block to get you to the next position. So are you ready to move on, or are you going to stay there doing 3 people's job? Okay, so she says she put her resume back out there the same day. And so that's all you have to do. This is just an opportunity to move you to something else. So this is your wish fulfillment. They're showing me the 10 of cups. This is your wish. No, they're showing me the 10 of pentacles. This is your wish fulfillment, because the 10 of cups will be your emotional fulfillment. And right now you're not getting that emotional fulfillment, but this is that abundance that you pray for. And again, it teaches you how to recognize how you ask for what you ask for. Be specific on how you act. I want advancement. I want it to be this, this, and this. Like, I'm clear on the celebrity theater. I'm clear on the podcast. I'm clear on the radio spot. I'm clear on how I want it to be. Because I used to say, I want this to be my full-time thing, but I don't know how I want it. And now I'm clear on how I want it to be. And so they know exactly how I want it to be. So you are a little bit more clear on the next time you put it out there. So you wanted abundance. This is your abundance. This is you getting your abundance. But now you get to define how you want it and to get that happiness in that 10 of cups too. So that's what I got.
What I get is, again, it's definitely not a healthy environment. There's a lot of backbiting, a lot of political issues going on, political, internal politics and crap. So yeah, it's not a very comfortable environment. And yeah, if you want to feel celebration is a new opportunity. So I do see you looking. The question is again, there are questions. This is the questions about, this is your question. The question is stay or go kind of deal, but you need to go. And the opportunity is the new opportunity is going to bring even more money. So I don't see you staying there. And look at this. This is the Queen of Wands. Again, you're in control. So it's up to you, but you have 2 queens here. As I threw one on the floor, the point is those queens are letting you know that it's your decision. You ultimately will make it.
The Queen of Swords? Was that the Queen of Swords or the Queen of Wands?
Queen of Wands. And then this one down here.
You're still a little bit nurturing. You're still a little bit, in your peaceful mind. If that Queen of Swords come out, you go.
Queen of Pentacles, this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that Queen of Swords come out, them words go fly. And they go get the other side of you. They go get that alternate side of Queen. They go get the full you.
Well, the Queen of Swords would have meant moving furniture.
Right. And so what they're saying is take this opportunity to get your resume out there, but expand. Try different states just to see what's out there. Like, apply to a different state just to see what's out there, to see if you can even get the opportunities that you want in a different area. Always put it out there just to see what you can get, or to see what different opportunities are. I always apply for a job that's above the skill level that I have, because you can come in there and learn. I may not have all the skills that they want, but I have enough of them that they may even consider bringing me in. And after they talk to me, they be like, oh yeah, she could do this easy. The things that she doesn't have on her resume, we can teach her that. Maybe she doesn't know this system, we can teach her that. Oh, she doesn't know this, blah, 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 we can teach her that. So apply for the next level up. Even if you think you don't, go ahead and put it in there, because somebody might see that resume, or your God may go ahead and push that resume in front of somebody else and be like, you know what, we done interviewed 8 people. Let's try this person. Let's go a different route. And you're the different route, and you're the opportunity. Create the manifestation that you want. Because when I go on a celebrity theater, listen, I'm going to be like, y'all, I call this in, because I've been speaking on it for a long time.
They had to drag you off the stage. You're like, that took too long to get here. I ain't leaving.
Like on the Apollo show, when the Sandman come out,
with the hook.
You off the stage.
Yes, exactly.
Look, I need an opening comedy show act, and I need a musical act. Listen, I got it all set up. We're gonna have a comedy act to get y'all laughing, a musical act to get y'all all in the good mood and spirit dancing and stuff, and then we're gonna come out there and just let y'all have it. I got it. I see it every day.
Really?
The drama? Could it be me?
Exactly. I see it, y'all. I'm telling you. Y'all gonna be Angie spoke it. Y'all gonna be coming back playing little clips. They're gonna be like, I knew Angie when she was just on YouTube. Exactly.
I knew her when. I knew her when.
I knew her when. Exactly.
Exactly. Don't forget, folks.
Playing this old video.
Don't forget, folks. Hit that follow button if you're. And if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. Who is next? Miley Andrews.
Okay, Patty. Have a good night. Glad you came in. All right. So Miley Andrews is Miley. Oh, she was here. I saw her in the comment. Can I know anything about my past lives? If you're learning about, when you say I'm learning about them, what does that mean? Like you're having past life regressions where you're going back into your past lives and learning? If you're already doing that, what are you asking me to do? Confirm the information that you're getting? Like, I don't understand. Or are you saying that you want me to go into your past life? That's not an ability that I have practiced a lot. So I'll just do a general reading for you. And if anything comes up about your past lives, I'll go ahead and give it to you. Because my concern is if you're learning about your past life, does that mean that you're already tapping into them? And what is it that you want me to tell you? Oh, I've been Googling and watching videos on it. Oh, okay. Listen, somebody asked me about past lives the other day. I said, I don't bother them if they don't bother me. I'm not going into the past trying to figure out nothing that was happening back then. And a lot of people say it's important for you to understand who you were right now. If they want me to know something or they want me to heal something, they'll come into me. I don't go looking for trouble. I let trouble find me. I'm not the person who needs to go into my past and be like, I might find out I was a stripper in my past life. Absolutely not. No, I don't need to know that. That might be why I like dancing now. I don't need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember somebody I listened to this show where this guy does past life readings, and she found out that back in the day, like, she was a beauty queen person, and she had used her, she had like seduced one of the judges and cheated on the show, and because of it, she was in exile, and that's why she was blah, 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 blah. I don't need that kind of trouble in my life. I just find the concept interesting. So I'll go ahead and do a general reading for you. I don't have anything. Kelly is laughing at me. Kelly, don't laugh at me. Like, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I could have been an axe murderer in my past. I don't want to know that's the reason that I'm so aggressive now is because I killed a whole village. Like, let me calm down. I'm not about to be going and finding out stuff that happened in the past. It's in the past for a reason. I was born into this life. Being a dancer ain't all that bad, but if I was an axe murderer in the past, it is. You know what I'm saying? What if I find out that I was Hitler's cousin? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know that. Listen, people, y'all be doing too much. But I get it. So let me see. Don, you got anything? You can go ahead.
No, I was enjoying watching the show. I was thinking, beware of those polls.
Exactly. Listen, people, y'all don't know what y'all be asking about.
Yeah, I'm not picking up anything in reference to spirit talking about your past lives.
They are telling me to be mindful of where you get the information from. So, because I know even in religion, like when I was younger in religion, I heard all of these ways that people used to use these verses. And then when I got older and I read the whole paragraph, like, they'll give you one line of it. And then you go back and read the whole paragraph, and you'd be like, ain't that nothing? That ain't what it was supposed to be. So they are telling me to tell you be mindful of the information that you're getting regarding past lives. And if you really want to be open to past lives, you can just ask your higher power to reveal a past life to you. You literally can be like, how can I find out about one of my most relevant past lives? Or how can I find out about one of my past lives that is affecting my current life. So those are things that you can just ask your higher power and allow them to come in. I'm not a person who likes to go to other people and make them an expert over me. I like to let my higher power come down to me and tell me. I can go to somebody else and they can tell me how to interpret cards, but that's their interpretation on it based on their experience, based on their life, based on the skill sets that they have. And when I see it, it may mean something else. Like I say all the time, when I first saw the Five of Wands, I saw it as collaboration. I didn't see it as conflict. And my guides told me in the sense that I was seeing it, it was collaboration and not conflict. So it's all in your interpretation of it. So the first thing I would tell you to do is just literally tell your guides, can I have a past life experience when I go to sleep? And can I remember what it is? And then what is the significance of that past life for me? Why are you showing me this past life? How is it going to affect me now? How is it going to excel me forward? Because are you just wanting to know so you can say, hey, I was a warrior, I was a princess, I was a queen, I was a child, I was an alligator, like in my past? Like, is that just the reason that you want to know? Or do you want to know how you can apply it to your current situation now? How can I use what I was to heal something that I am now? Then that's what you do. You just ask your higher power to do that. You don't need to go into a class and to learn. You don't need to learn everything about past lives in order to experience a past life. You can just ask. And I did have a situation where I was reading a guy and I kept seeing him sitting as a monk. He was all bald and then he had on the little wrap and the clothing that monks wear. And I asked him, I said, do you ever, and you can take this too, Miley, to understand, do you ever have experiences in your current life or memories in your current life that seem familiar, but that you know that you didn't experience in this lifetime? That could be a past life memory. Like, dang, I had this dream. It seems really familiar, but I don't remember doing that in this current life. That could be a past life memory. And then you just explore that. And so for him, I kept seeing him as a monk. And when I asked him that question, he says, you know, sometimes I do have stuff that seem really familiar, but I'm like, I don't remember doing that or I never did it. And so if you're having those experiences where you're remembering things that seem familiar or don't seem foreign to you, foreign enough that you're like, who the hell is this? It could be a past life. So you're thinking that you're going to get some kind of video of your past life. It could be experiences that you're having. It could be dreams that you're having. It could be memories that you're receiving, because they're showing me the Six of Cups, which is thinking back. And so sometimes I'll be like, oh, I see you with such and such. Like Keena found out when we were in mediumship class that her and my dad have reincarnated over lifetimes, but they weren't always father and daughter. That wasn't something she asked. That's just something that came up in mediumship class. Somebody told her, oh, you and your dad have reincarnated over multiple lifetimes, but you weren't always father and daughter. And so you can have that experience without going to somebody and asking them how to do it. She says she's going to try the candle method mentioned earlier so she can be more in tune with anything she receives and letting it get out of her head. And she says, I am more so looking at potential karma that I can work on. Okay. And so then you can also say, identify any karma that I need to clear up in this lifetime. Or ask them, am I on the path to clearing up the karma that I need to? So those are all things that you could ask. It's just a different perspective on it. Like, we don't always need to have a past life to show us. It could just be like, hey, how can I clear up this karma from this life or from the previous life? Again, I don't worry about the past because they ain't got nothing to do with me now. This Angie, don't listen. It's the same as like if drunk Angie did something or said something, don't come talking to sober Angie because she don't remember. Drunk Angie was a whole different person. Sober Angie don't have no memories of it, and sober Angie is not responsible for what drunk Angie did. So past life Angie has nothing to do with what I am now. Ain't no telling what I did in the past. And so I'm not going to look for that. But I understand your need and your desire and your interest in it. So those are some of the things that I can tell you to do. But they are showing me that Six of Cups, which show me that you're really looking back and you're really interested in it. So just call on your higher power and let them know that you are interested in it and allow them to give it to you. It's a co-creation. It's a relationship where you ask them to help you. Don't ever put somebody else above you to be the superior person in knowledge for you, unless it's your higher power. You don't always need to go to, like when Keena wanted to learn some things about in the metaphysical, they said, oh, you don't need to keep taking all these classes. It's free. You can find it online or you can find it in other ways. You don't always need to pay for it or research it out and let somebody else be the master of your fate. You can learn it from your higher power. And I'd rather get it directly from the source than from Bobby Sue down the street, because her past life may have told her one thing and my past life might have told me something else. So that's what I got for you, Miss Miley, and I hope that helps.
The only thing that I would add to that is, again, Miley, just take your time and ask your spirit guides. Don't ask anybody. I mean, I'm not saying don't ask anybody else. Like, take that back. Most importantly is the communication you have with your spirit guides. And if you do some of the exercises, if you haven't had really good communication with them yet, then I would strongly suggest doing the exercises I spoke of, so where you can communicate with them. And additionally, set that appointment so every day you talk to your spirit guides, and then talk to them on the days that you want to regress, the days that you want to experience what's come. Before you go to bed, this is a good time to talk to your spirit guides. Before you go to bed, make sure you tell your gatekeeper, control everybody else, don't let them in. But if any of your spirit guides can come in and bring in some help with regressions, let them bring those into your dreams, and then ask the spirits to allow you to hang on to what you've dreamed about in the next day so you can remember what it is. But again, you have the power in you. You don't need to reach outside. You don't need necessarily to have somebody bring that into you. The most important person is you and your ability to communicate with your spirit guides. And then you can trust the information. Once you trust your spirit guides, you'll be able to trust the information they give you and say, damn, that was too real. That was too vivid to be something that isn't. And so that may be a past life. That probably was a past life. So start within yourself and then go from there. That's what I would suggest. Again, start within yourself and do the spirit guide exercises and have them help you regress. And then go to sleep and regress. And you will be surprised what happens and what you see. Also, a lot of times the answers to a lot of your questions, everybody out there, a lot of times the answers to your questions you ask us and want from us, if you would go to sleep by initially having the conversation with spirit guides, asking them, bring me this information, don't be surprised what they bring at night. They may bring the answers that you want, not the answers that you want to hear, but the answers that you're seeking. And that's the big problem too, is because often we get the message and we don't like it. I mean, it's funny. It's like we would love to know we're kings in a different life. But if you find out instead you're a sharecropper, or that you were,
Hitler's cousin.
exactly. I mean, there's all kinds of things. So it always isn't the best, fanciest, nicest answer. I mean, there are people who will tell you, oh, you had 10 lives, and one was a queen, and one was an Egyptian prince, and one was whatever, and a pharaoh. It's amazing how you can live 10 lives and be so amazingly wonderful, and yet in this life,
is the only crappy one.
Exactly. You're very pedestrian in this life. Anyway, do that. Miley, if you again connect with spirit in your own, grow that relationship, ask the questions, you may be very pleasantly surprised that you don't need to look outside. It's here. It's here.
And honestly, my guys, I didn't even ask them. They told me about relationships that I've had in past lives, and I'm like, well, just keep him where he was. He don't need to come back. Hi, Swirly Fry. Hi, Letty. Vanessa. I wasn't going. I was going to take a different approach to your message, but it caught my eye about your husband and transferring to another company. And what I immediately heard was your husband is a logical person. You have to show him the cost benefit analysis of that. If we move, this is how much housing, this is how much we could save on housing, or this is how much housing, or this is how much more money I could do. Don't just give him a fly-by-night presentation like, oh, he came in from work, and I had a hard day, and now you like, oh, honey, I think, and you give him a pizza, and then you like, hey, let's go ahead and talk about moving. You might want to try it after he'd had a nice release from some sex, and then tell him like, hey, I was thinking about maybe doing this in another state. Tell him then. Or after he'd had a nice steak dinner, you cook him a nice steak dinner, or y'all have a nice, dinner, you sit down and you say, hey, I was thinking about moving at this time. He seems to be a very logical person, and the numbers have to add up to him. What are the costs here versus the cost there? Because what if you want to move from Arizona to California? Is that a very effective cost? Is that a cost-effective thing to do? Their cost of living is a lot lower in Arizona than it would be in California. So you have to give him and present him with the numbers that make sense to him. He seems to be a person that says, well, I make this much here. Where am I going to find a job where I can make that much there? you make this much here and you're only getting a $5,000 or $10,000 raise. $5,000 or $10,000 after taxes is about 7 or 8. So is it really going to help us in our mood, or are you just fantasizing something that doesn't make sense on paper? If you can't add it up on paper and it makes sense to you, then you can't present it to him in a way that's going to make sense to him. He seems to be a person that likes the numbers and like things to work out for them. So Ms. Vanessa, I hope that helps you, and that helps you to make a better decision.
And also, if somebody asks a question and they put a date of birth, somebody's name and date of birth, please don't do that. Do not do that. Do not put your date of birth or anybody else's date of birth here. For one, we don't need it to do a reading. And if any tarot reader needs it, then that raises red flags to me.
They're giving you like a Pisces. They're just reading you based on the things that are relevant to a Pisces or a Taurus or a Virgo or Capricorn.
And that's more of an astrology read. And if you want astrologers, that's wonderful. And they do look the birth date. But again, as a tarot reader, but even astrology reader, if you see them online, I would be very cautious about giving them your full birth date, because again, that's information that used in the wrong hands. And there are people watching all these things. Why do you think the scammers come on here and try to scam our people? You think if they're watching here and scamming that they're waiting for that information? So please don't put it there. Nobody. And I'm not chastising anybody. I'm just saying, for your own safety, do not do that, please.
Even putting your sign on gives me your month. That gives me 02 or 03. Like if you say that you're a Pisces, I know that that's either February or March. And so I can use that to put in there. And if you'll be like, oh, I'm in my 40s now, you know what I'm saying? They can play with the numbers. Scammers are scammers for a reason.
Yep.
And so be careful. And y'all just willy-nilly be like, yeah, my name is such and such, such. I live at 314 Bakingham Lane, and my husband. Don't give out my information at all. Like, don't come on there and tell people my date of birth. Hold on. And that's what you're doing. Not only are you giving out your date of birth, you're giving out somebody else's date of birth. I don't know you like that. Don't be giving out my information like that. For Vanessa, so I hope that helps. Like, it doesn't matter where you're trying to move. What I'm saying is you have to present it to your husband in a logical way. Is it cost effective for us to do that? And like I said, some of the ways that I would like to receive information is, like after sex, like, hey, the car broke down and we got to blah, blah, blah. But after sex, it sounds better than after I came in from a hard day's work with my bags and I got to go ahead and cook dinner. It's all in the presentation. You know your husband's better than I do. You don't need the gods to tell you that, oh, you need to do it after he's had a good meal, after he's watched a game, after he's had a couple of drinks. You know your husband better than I do. What you want to know is if the move is going to be a good move. And I'm getting a no, because that's why they gave me the cost effectiveness. Are you going to make enough money that it makes sense to move? Again, if I got a $10,000 raise and then I had to move to California, it would not be cost effective. I'm going to be in the hole. They've offered me jobs for it, and it was a little bit more money than I made. But after they took out the benefits and the taxes and all that stuff, it took me to less than what I was making, or just barely above what I was making. And then the drive was farther. So you have to look at the whole thing. Is it going to be beneficial to the whole family, or is it just going to be beneficial to you? So work it out in your head. So that's what I have for you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is she the lady that asked about her son, or like the grandkids and the reading? Is that the lady? I think that's why that came up. Was she the one who asked about the kids and she wanted you to go back in the reading and tell her, oh, that they're having blah, blah, blah. And so then she changed her question in order for it to be this. Okay, for your greatest and highest good.
Are you still here, Leanne? Leanne, are you still here? Let us know. Yes, she's here. Okay, there you
go. Okay. So Leanne, and I'm gonna okay. They're showing me you as a queen of wands, very nurturing, but a little bit into everybody's everything. Like, oh, what are you doing? And what are you doing? And what are you doing? You have your hands a little bit in everything. And you want to know about everything that's going on in everybody's life. And so that's a way of you deflecting from dealing with the situations in your life. And so you're asking, what does my spirit wants me to know for my highest and greatest good? They want you to work on you and not everybody else. You don't need to take responsibility for everybody else. They're showing me the 10 of wands. And so they're telling me you're gathering up burdens that you don't have to. Like there's no sticks in your way. You're going around like, oh, there's a stick over there. Let me walk way over there and get that stick. There's a stick over there. Let me walk way over there and get that stick. And there's a stick way over there that doesn't, like these sticks have nothing to do with you. So each stick that you're picking up is a different color because they don't belong to you. You're picking up everybody else's burden. So in that Queen of Wands, spirit, you are nurturing, but you're nurturing things that don't concern you. You don't have to be involved with them. And they're saying if you step back and work on you, that'll give you something to deal with in order to stop worrying about what everybody else is going through, or stop allowing everybody to dump their burdens on you. They also show me like somebody coming up with a wheelbarrow of burdens and just dumping them on you, and you get right in there to start working on their burdens too. You need to work on you and not so much on everybody else. They're telling me for you to put a stop sign up and tell people to stop at the door. The inn is closed. I had a friend. I used to tell her that she definitely was a refugee camp for lost and wayward children, because every single year she would have 2 or 3 of her kids' friends staying with her because they weren't getting along with their mom, or she would have 4 or 5 different relatives living with her because they didn't have any place to go. And so she finally got to the point where she was like, the inn is closed. I can't have anybody else coming to stay with me. My house is full. So you have to decide when your plate is full and stop taking on everybody else's problems and issues. And I get it. When people do need support, you're always there. But they're saying, when is somebody there for you? When do you get that reciprocal effect? If you're always giving, then you're depleted. You can be the delivery driver for a lot of people, but who's helping you put the gas in the car to get to there to do whatever? When are you replenishing your vehicle? When are you replenishing yourself? When are you getting the things that you need? And sometimes that means stepping back and being selfish. They're showing me that you need a vacation. They're showing me a sandy beach, and they're showing me that you need to take a vacation. Do you have a best friend that is a little bit sick and you're worried about this person? They said if you want to help that person, if you want to help that person, then maybe you should go on a trip with them and give them some joy and laughter in their life instead of trying to take care of their health needs, because that's not your job to do. That's for their doctor, that's for their family, and that's for them. And so they're saying go on this special trip with your friend, because they're clearly showing me 2 ladies in hats at the beach having a drink. And so they're saying you need a vacation. You need a release where you just let everything go. You let the phone go, you let the people go, and you let people work it out on their own. When I used to work in housing, I used to be like, well, I mean, I could take her to her doctor's appointment instead of her getting on the bus. And what the other housing lady told me was, how do they ever learn responsibility if you're always there helping them to get from A to B? How, if you're not here one day, how do they get to the doctor? How do they map it out? How do they know that it takes 2 hours on the bus or an hour on the bus? How do they know to make sure they have enough water? How do they know how to get the stroller on? How do they know how to be productive when they leave here if you're always in the clutch helping them out? We are teaching them to be independent, not to always depend on us. And your thing is you like to be valued, you like to be needed. And so you allow these people to dump all their problems at your door. And so you can dig in and help them, but it doesn't allow you to work on you. And so your higher power is saying, take a vacation with this friend. And have some fun. Like that's literally what they're showing me, is that you need to go on a vacation. And they're literally showing me you at a beach with this sun hat on and having this drink. So that's what your higher power is saying, self-care, self-care. That's what you need, and to stop letting people dump all their problems on you. Even if it's mentally on the phone. Sometimes I have to stop answering the phone. And so they say you just listening to people talk to you. Like the other day, Keena was like, did you take a nap? I said, no, I was talking to this person and this person and this person and this person. I never took a nap. She said, you can put your phone on do not disturb. And I was like, yeah, I know. But I wanted to talk to people and help them with them needs. But then I ended up not getting enough rest, and I had to go to work that night. And so they're saying you need to, no, you need to decide. You need to do some self-care. You need to look at you. So that's what I got for you, Miss Leanne. I hope that helps.
Man, I'm told get out of the bubble. What the hell are you doing in a bubble? Why are you in a bubble? Why have you isolated yourself? And why are you, what's, you, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the walls are closing in, and there just seems to be just a lack of, it's like you lost a lack of desire, a lack of engagement. And
For herself. She
exactly.
engages in everybody else's stuff, but for herself.
Yeah, and so the one thing that I'm getting very strongly is you need to re-engage. You need to set out a plan. You need to sit down and figure out how to do this, but re-engage. You need to get up, get moving, get back involved. I think this isolation is not healthy for you. So do what you can. Figure out a way to make yourself helpful. I would be finding things that I can help other people do, or events that I can join in those things. Whatever you can do, maybe it's, I don't know. You just need a drastic shakeup in your life. You need to figure out a way to do it.
Look, one simple thing that Don committed himself to, all the other things in life that he has going on, Monday is his adult time. That's when we go to our mediumship class, and that's where me and Don met at. He committed himself to Monday nights from this time to this time, and that's his adult time. That's his me time. And so it's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be anything drastic where you go on a voyage for eat, pray, love. It could be something as simple as this is my class time, leave me alone. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my class time or my live time. And so those are things that I commit to myself for me that give me joy and pleasure. So it could be something as simple as, listen, I'm about to tune into Angie and Don. I'm about to tune into just spiritually speaking, one of these people on here. And at that time, you don't bother me. You don't talk to me. When How to Get Away with Murder was out and Scandal was out, listen, when that come on, don't call me, don't talk to me, don't nothing. That was my me time. That was my guilty pleasure. And so you have to capture those moments for yourself. It could be just painting in the park. It could be walking in the park. Every single morning during the pandemic, I went and walked 5 miles. That was my me time. You carve out the me time for you. It doesn't have to be drastic.
Yep, something small, something. It's amazing what sometimes, believe it or not, it's amazing. Even just a phone call. If you call the right person, it's like there's times where I'm in like a funk, or I'm in I'm in a yuck. Okay, and I can call Angie, and all of a sudden that phone call can just take me out of it. Because I don't know why. It's just, and it's not as though we talk about anything amazing, because it's not really that, or that we have some kind of connection with spirit to bring us to a happy space. Spirit doesn't bring you to a happy space. That's, if you depend on spirit, then you really are way off. Anyway, but again, making that phone call takes me out of here. It takes me out of my own head. And all of a sudden, and then good thing is, from time to time, Angie, thank God, she lets me download most of the time. But every once in a while, she then gives me something back and downloads on me, which makes me feel great and like, okay, finally I'm helpful, because I'm the one who's always like this. And so
That's what I was just gonna say. Sometimes it's just a rant session. Like,
yep.
am I wrong for feeling this way? And I'm like, absolutely not, because I feel that way too. Let's go and beat them up together.
Exactly. So even a conversation, even just one conversation, can totally flip the energy in your day, in your week. So if nothing else, schedule a conversation and put on your calendar, I'm calling somebody today. I'm calling, and make it happen. Make it one the same day each week, even if it's somebody different. Make sure you call. Even a phone call, it will make a difference. So break out of your bubble, get beyond your bubble, start doing these small steps, and you'll get to the big steps.
I was just telling somebody that the other day. They were asking about how can they get to happiness. And I said, look, I have different people that I can call at different times. If I call Sherry Berry, she about to burn some kind of herb. She about to do some kind of witchy thing in the background, and she about to get my energy up
She'll burn the
immediately
house down.
if I call her. Exactly. If I call Don, we may laugh through it. We may metaphysically walk through it. If I talk to Keena, she may just give me a different perspective on it. If I call one of my other friends, we might laugh through it. So I have different sources of people that I can call for whatever it is that I'm going through. And I know that they'll give me a different perspective on it than what I have. Or I may end up talking to all of them. If I call Julie, she's love and light. She's gonna lead with love, and she's gonna tell me to love myself or love whatever it is. And I may not want to hear the loving message, but that's how she's going to lead me with it. And so you always have to have a different level of people that you can call for different things, because everybody isn't the same in the situation. If I'm having a family issue and I just want to rage out about it, I may need to call my friend Coco, because she understands we have that same level of family issues sometimes. And she's like, girl, this is what I did. And so you have to have different people who serve different purposes in your life and allow them to advise you, or to at least make you laugh, or at least give you a different perspective on it, and to make you feel different about it. So it's not always just isolating yourself isn't going to help, because it's only your own view. You're just looking in the mirror saying, Angie, aren't you right? Yes, I am right. I'm always right. I know we always right. We ain't did nothing wrong. These people are wrong. But sometimes when you have somebody else to be Keena, be like, well, Angie, I mean, I don't think you're seeing that right. And so then it's like, well, wait a minute. And so I may not like it in the moment. One of the things that Keena told me a long time ago, and I used to be like, what? Two things can be, what she say, two things can be true at once. I can be happy for you, but also feel some kind of way that it's not happening for me. Like, okay, like I'm trying to date somebody and you get a man every 3 days and you ain't appreciate none of them. I'm happy that you're dating these people, but I also feel some kind of way that I'm not getting it too. Two things could be true at once. And it's not necessarily jealousy. It's like, hey, Lord, what the hell is going on? You done sent her 45 different men. You can't send me one. And so it's not that I'm not happy for you. Two things could be true at once. And so what we're saying is sometimes it's just that different perspective that opens your eyes to be like, oh, it is a different way to see it. It is a better way to see it. Or it's just a way that I never opened my eyes to think about it. So isolating yourself isn't the best thing. Find some people that you can talk to.
Exactly. Exactly. While we're at it, don't forget, folks, if you want to talk to us and hear us live, send an email, sonoranmystictarot@gmail.com, and we'll send you a link. And while we're talking about links, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, follow buttons, please.
Oh my gosh, Don, I like the new commercial.
Just a
The
little change up from the usual.
I like it. You know, I always been in love with that Facebook one that you had with the lady in the corner and the green screen in the background. I always love that one. I love this one too. Oh my God.
Super, super. Who is next, Keena? And by the way, folks, I got to plug my merch. So here we go. This is
Listen, did y'all see that lover's card on that t-shirt? What better way to attract the love of your life than to have on one of Don's t-shirt with the tarot lover's card on there? So Absolutely. Just go ahead and order that card, wear it all around, let people know that you open to love. Go ahead and buy that shirt.
Exactly. And we're getting most of the major arcana put on the shirts. So if you see any of the major arcanas you really love, they're going to be there soon. We already have 4 or 5. There are more coming. Go to my Etsy shop and
listen, Don, get the lovers up there, because you know all these people want to love readings. They about to be wearing them lover shirt. Listen, Victoria said I need to get a crop top and put that way and make it a crop top. Go ahead and cut the bottom off of it, sew it up, and make you a half shirt and wear that lover's card all over. Listen, y'all want to attract some love. How better to attract love than the lover's tarot card on there. That is, love is right here in me.
Yep. And if you want any private readings, the same here. You go to the Etsy shop, you get your shirt, or get a reading.
Exactly the same thing. Terry T, go ahead, scan that card right there and get you a lover's tarot card shirt.
Exactly.
Somebody just had on the sun card the other day. We were in class, and I think Rob had on the sun card the other day. It's all
Ted.
Yeah,
No, it was Rob. You're right. It was Rob, not Ted. You're right.
Yeah, so
Yep.
go ahead and go on Don's Etsy shop and order the shirt. You can wear what it is. If you got strength, then wear your strength. If you the queen, then wear your queen. Whatever it is, he got the shirts on there. So go in there and order them. What better way to attract a lover than to have on the lover's card?
Exactly.
Listen, that's an affirmation by itself without speaking any words.
Call it in. Call it in. All right. Now it's Terry T's turn. Someone at work on my team dropped the ball recently and it's becoming a big thing and I'm caught in the middle of it. Would this affect me at all? Face blue, wide eyes.
How are you caught in the middle of it? Like how is it affecting you? Like is it something that you have to pick up the slack where they're saying, oh, okay, she didn't get it right, so now you have to take over the position? Because the example that I had was I have a coworker, she's a very emotional person, and so she always needs some kind of acknowledgement. So she went to the doctor the other day and she needs to have a major surgery. And our manager didn't ask her how her doctor's appointment was when she came back. Can you believe that he didn't ask me? I said, yes, I can believe he didn't ask you. That's your personal business. He don't need to know that. I wouldn't ask you either. And so that's how I approached it, as in not to badmouth our manager, but hey, that's inappropriate. I don't need to ask you how your doctor's appointment went. If there's something that's going to affect your job, then you need to tell me. But I'm not going to, every time you go to the doctor, this is why I don't want to manage people, stuff like this. So she's like, well, he didn't even ask me how my doctor's appointment been. I don't care how your doctor's appointment. I don't know if you're going to get something worked on the top or the bottom of you. And if it's the bottom of you, I definitely don't want to know how that's going on. Like, I'm not about to ask you nothing. If you want me to know, then that's what you can tell me. But people want to tell me all the intimate detail. Hold on. I asked this lady at my second job how she was doing, and she went into all her birth problems, all her down below problems. Hold on. What you need is a gynecologist, not me. Hold on. And so what I'm saying is, how is this affecting your job? I mean, I got to pick up the slack, I'm on the team, so just worried if it's going to affect my promotion. How is it going to affect your promotion? If you're picking up the slack, they show me a wart on my hand and you're a worry word. You just like to worry about things that aren't serious enough to cause you any issue. So, okay. So my friend, the lady that I'm working with, she's about to have this surgery. She's trying to get all of her contracts to a certain level so that when she leaves, we all can pick up the slack for her. If she doesn't get them there and one of us has to push them to that level where we're ready to collect the documents and she drops the ball, then we just have to pick up the slack. How does her dropping the ball affect my performance? We're still a team and we're still trying to get it done. She gave me one of her engagements that she had open for over a year. It had nothing to do with me. I picked up the slack. I asked the questions that I was supposed to do and I moved it forward. And so now I'm getting the accolades for moving it forward. It didn't hurt my job performance in any way because I stepped in and did what I had to do to move it forward. Kina had a situation at her job, and I don't know if I know the details correctly, where there was a new lady coming in on a new process that they were coming through. Kina knew how to do the job. This person came in like, you need to do this. Kina like, hey, I know what I need to do. I don't need you to tell me what to do. And so Kina continued along with her process while this person was ranting and raving in the background. Your lack of planning and me having to pick up the slack for you doesn't mean that it's going to look poorly on me. You're worried about something that doesn't look negatively on you. Like, did the patient die? And you had to come back in and do the little defibrillator thing to bring them back. Well, you the hero right there. She killed him and you brought her back. You the savior. Like, you're worried about things that should not. We're on the same team, so even though it wasn't me who dropped the ball, people talking and be like, they not doing a good thing. So what? Terry T, you be too worried about what other people are saying. It does not matter in the group. People are always going to talk about something. They talk about our team all the time. Oh, TLM isn't doing this. Oh, contracts isn't doing this. People are always going to have their opinions about something else. But if you go and sweep around their backyard, is their team doing what they're supposed to be doing? Are they doing what their job duties are? Everybody's going to have situations where somebody's not doing what they're doing. And you worry about what people think about you too much. Oh, they dropped the ball. I didn't drop the ball. I picked up the slack and did what I had to do. And now we're back on track. Everything is not going to be perfect. It's not always going to go in a solid line. Sometimes it's going to be high. Sometimes it's going to be low. Sometimes it's going to be steady. Sometimes it's going to be, push forward. Like when I'm at my second job, some days it's, you know what, this person is standing there doing nothing and I'm working my ass off. But at the end of the day, everything that needed to go out got out. And so what they see is this person not getting the job done, or they see the total job getting done. Or maybe we messed up something and we didn't get it out where it was supposed to be. Like I had to correct this thing. In my situation, we risk assess third parties. And so this person, when they did it, they forgot to click one little button on there, and we had to rekey the whole contract and do it all over. So when I got the lady, she was very hypersensitive. Did you make sure it's right? Is the rating right? Is the risk right? Is the score right? So she was very, very hypersensitive about it. I let her know, I know what my job is. This is the correct process. This is what it's going to be. She questioned it, she questioned it, she questioned it. So every single time she gave me pushback, I took it to the next level. Okay, let's go to the information security team. They agree with me. Okay, let's go to my manager. He agrees with me. Oh, let's go to the monitoring team. They agree with me. So just because this person dropped the ball and we had to rekey the whole contract, I came back and fixed it. And every single time she had a concern, I addressed the concern and moved forward, and I had documentation. So when they came and said, what's taking so long? Oh, here's all the email trails of why this is taking so long. This should have been done 3 months ago, but because she was so hypersensitive about how it happened last time, this is what the problem is. I had the same email trail that went from December all the way forward to May to show that I wasn't the person that was the holdup. I addressed it every step of the way. And so now you can see what the problem is. And so when they asked, I said she wouldn't give her approval because she was concerned about A, B, C, D, and E. And so it's not about them saying, oh, this last contract was messed up. It's about you saying, I fixed it, and this is how I fixed it, and I move forward. Do you think I worry about the last person who messed it up? No. My concern was getting this one done in an adequate amount of time so that I can get us the contract, which is what I did, and now we're done. So what you're worried about are things that don't concern you or that don't have any effect on you. Yes, she messed it up. Things happen. I fixed it, and we move forward.
Terry, I got the fact that you're going to be celebrating this again. You're getting through this. You're going to be fine. You should be careful though with what you put out there and what you say, because again, the magician is, don't own it. This is a manifestation card. Don't bring yourself into the trouble, and that's what I'm concerned about here. Is you're bringing yourself into it. Stay out of it. It's not your thing. You're fine. Again, you're going to be happy in the end. Control your situation, but do not invite it in. Do not add yourself to it. Do not make yourself part of it. Say, you know what? That's not my responsibility. It's not my line. I'm good, and move on. Stay a distance. Create the wall. Keep the wall. That magician card is very clear. If you're not careful, you could invite it in and you become part of it. Do not do that. You were not part of it. You're not responsible. Don't invite it in. Okay? Don't invite it in.
Another thing I was going to say is a lot of people in my job, they like to go to the VP. So if I'm not giving them what they want to go to the VP, then the VP comes to my director and says, hey, what's the holdup? And then she comes to me, Angie, what's the holdup? I explain the situation. So sometimes I have to drop everything I'm doing to appease this person. I want to spit fire when I do it, but I get the job done and I move it forward and get it done. And then I get the accolades. Next thing you know, the next manager is saying, thank you, Angie, for dropping everything and getting it done. Here's your blue rewards. And blue rewards add up to money at my job. And so you have to decide. You know what I'm saying? You can't let those things, like I literally wanted to spit fire. I swear, if we would have been working at the same place, I probably would have found her tires and put some glass up under. I wanted to spit fire because she went outside of my process to go to the VP to say, hey, she's not doing this right. And it wasn't that I wasn't doing right. She wanted to go outside of the process, and what she wanted to do, we couldn't do. And so when I had to drop everything and work it to the point where we could, to where I told her we couldn't get, to our stopping point. And then it was a hard pause. But I had to show that I knew what I was doing. As long as I know the flow of information, and listen, my only goal is, as long as the holdup isn't me. I am always like this. As long as whatever the delay is doesn't have to do with me, and I have documentation to show it wasn't me, I don't care what they do. I don't care if it take you 2 years to get the contract. As long as I have the documentation to show that I wasn't the holdup, then I am okay with my job. I don't care what they say. I don't even care now that she went to the VP to say, hey, Angie isn't doing this fast enough. I care that I got the job done in the amount of time that I needed to get it done. And you think I have any residual worry about it? Not at all. But I bet you the next time she come to me, I'm gonna make her last on the list.
All righty, super. Next in line, hopefully Terry T, that helps you again. Don't own it. Don't take it. It's
Hey,
not.
Miss Brittany. Brittany is giving us so much accolades in the comments, Don. She is talking about, she said, hey, cutie. She said, Don, it was, did she see you at the psychic fair?
Yeah.
She said
Yeah.
it was good. Okay, so she said, hi. Hey, Brittany, I haven't seen you in a long time, but I always watch your videos. You be cracking me up. She does a lot of TikTok videos and a lot of things about like dealing with past lives. Oh, there was somebody on here who wanted to know about past lives. And I don't know if you're still on here. Was it that, what was her name? Oh, shoot, I can't
Miley?
remember.
Was it Miley something?
Brittany Larson, that's in the comments. She's on Facebook. She is a very good person that to talk to about past lives or dealing with stuff like that. This person was trying to learn about her past lives and things like that. And I didn't even think of you, and I'm so glad you popped in. But Miley, if you're here, Brittany Larson on our page, Brittaney, not with the E, is a very good person to do. Keena, if you could put her name up there or something so that everybody can see her. She's a very good person to talk to about past lives. So Miley, I don't know if you're on here, but Brittany Larson is a very good person to talk about bad life. So this is her, Brittany Larson, right here. If you want to know about past lives, that is somebody you can contact. She's very good at that.
If you have TikTok, you should find her, Brittany, again with an A, Larson, on TikTok and follow her. Her TikToks are amazing. And
Tina said post your information, Brittany, so they can find you on however you want them to find you, TikTok or whatever. Post your information in the chat so the Keena can post it for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you follow her on TikTok, you will love her stuff. She's very uplifting. She's very ethereal. She's into, I mean, she helps you to understand and process in ways that maybe you hadn't thought about before. You'll love her. But also she does it in such a fun, high energy way that you can't help but adore her. So.
Listen, the videos are so cute. She'll be in the river swatting water and just giving you so much download and so much information. Her videos are really, really good. Like, she is very powerful and she makes you be like, what? And sometimes I'll be like, whatever, Brittany, I don't want to hear that. But it'd be good information. Like, she's really good, and she's really good at getting your attention in her videos. Like, literally, she'll be on a mountaintop one day, in a river the next day, in her room the other day. Like, she's very dramatic, but it gets your attention, and so you'll love it. Keena posted her information, Keena.
Yeah, she's
Terry T says he loves your downloads, your daily downloads. Now I love them too. It's just a little, you know what I'm saying, a little breakup to your morning or to your day to see, is it aligned with what I want to do. So that is good to for I love the daily downloads. And when he didn't do them, I kept being like, well, is he gonna start back again? And one day an old daily download popped up. I got so excited, and I was like, that's for 4 months ago. No, when you gonna do these damn daily downloads? And now he's back, and he's back with the monthlies, and he's gonna do the weekly. So It's good to see him back in there. And then Terry T said he got the lovers twice. Go ahead and buy that shirt, Terry T. Go ahead and buy them lovers twice. You got both sides. You got one of each.
There you go, Terry T. Oh Lord, now with the triangle situation, Lord have mercy.
Exactly. Everyone should take Brittany's classes. Oh, Jojo is saying that you should take one of Brittany's classes too. So her classes are really good too. So again, Brittany, we're giving you a lot of love on here. So you guys go ahead and copy Brittany's information. Go to her website and then see all the services that she's providing. She's really, really good.
Her metaphysical skills, also, just to speak, her metaphysical skills are off the chart as well. And it's interesting, Brittany is not afraid to go in and clean a house that has bad energy or bad spirits. And she has taken on some seriously heavy bad spirits and have kicked butt. So, I mean, she
said we should collab again. Hey, let us know when you want to. Or you can come in on Sunday. Me and Sherry Berry are on there on Sundays too. Or if you want to pick another day, like you want to do another day that you want to come in, let me know. I'm open to doing another day with you, a different day, a pop up. We could do a pop up reading or pop up live.
Absolutely. So anyway, thank you, Brittany, for coming in, and thanks for and everybody again, check her out. Who are we doing next again, Keena? I forgot.
Phyllis said, "Is she on the list, Keena? Because she's here." She's not sure if she's here. And I know you said like 3 or 4 people didn't make it. So listen, y'all, we got about 40 minutes because I got to go get Brandon. He get off work at 10 o'clock. So we got 40 minutes to get through the rest of y'all. All right, Miss Victoria, you're next. Let's do it.
You said a Phyllis? There's no Phyllis.
Is it? Wait, there's a Phyllis? Oh.
No, she's not on the list. Phyllis is not on the list. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Victoria.
So can I get a general on what is coming ahead of me with the house I am currently in? Like, are they gonna sell it or are you going? Because I got sale. As soon as you said currently in the house I'm in, I saw a for sale sign in the door in the yard. So I don't know if you're thinking about selling it or if the landlord's thinking about selling it, but I immediately saw a for sale sign in the yard and don't even have a refrigerator. You know that there are have you ever, I don't know where you are, but we have the Habitat Restore here where they have household appliances and things that you can buy really really cheap, where you could go and like probably get a refrigerator at the low, like, and some of them are refurbished things. There's agencies that'll help you. You can dial 211 and they can help you to get a refrigerator. There's all kinds of resources in the community that can help you to get a refrigerator if that's what you really need. Like literally, that is probably the easiest thing that you could possibly do is get a appliance like that. Again, like the like I said, that it's Habitat for Humanity Restore or something like that, and they sell things for really low prices. Like maybe it was like literally, if you have those big long vertical blinds in your house and you're missing a blind, you could literally go in there and buy a blind and put it up for your store. You can buy all those things. The landlord is not easy to talk to. Then why won't you just move? Why would you stay in a place like? Listen, y'all be so loyal to these people that be treating y'all like crap. If you don't, or is it just the most affordable thing that you can have? Like, is that what your issue is? Or you can also go to a landlord tenant an agency that helps you with landlord tenant issues and let them know. But is that something that they're supposed to supply for you in your lease? Like I thought, listen, if I'm renting from you, you're supposed to supply my appliances, but I guess that's not true because my friend, when her refrigerator went down, they told her she had to replace it. They initially put the appliance in there, but it broke, and when it needed to be repaired, she had to replace it.
I would look to your lease to see, Victoria, but generally speaking, with health and welfare as the issue when it comes to refrigerated foods, I would be looking to the lease and looking to the landlord, and I would be looking to a local service.
So you're wait a minute, you're on a voucher program, then you definitely should have a case manager that should be looking into that. If you're on any kind of housing voucher program, you definitely can go to them and let them know that the landlord isn't doing what you need them to do, or say that you want to move to another location. Like that's not a magical potion or anything. That's you just using your resources. You have a voucher, that's a government paying for your housing, and if it's not right, then you contact that agency and say, hey, these are the issues that I'm having. I want to move, or I need assistance with getting my landlord. When I worked in housing, I was that case manager that had to resolve those issues.
Well, Victoria, if we're giving you advice and you're throwing up roadblocks, then we really can't help
So
you.
we
And
told
again,
you
this is
what
not
to
a
do,
psychic
and you
reading.
said nobody cares. So what did you think we gonna do? We gonna call the Lord in, and he go make him fix the stuff for you. We just gave you multiple options, and you said none of those are gonna work. But then stay in the house with no refrigerator. I don't know what else to tell you. Like I gave you multiple options. You can call 211. You can go to your legislative people. You can go to the political parties in the community. The people trying to get reelected right now. You can go. Hey, let me tell you who will get it done. The channel, the TV people that be like, call such and such for channel 3. When we first got those COVID shots, remember they were all supposed to be free. And I went to this church and got my first COVID shot. And then they sent me a bill, and I called the 3 TV people. He told me to send him a copy of that bill. I don't know who he called, but I got 3 different calls. I got a call from the hospital, I got a call from the church, and I got a call from my insurance agency that said, you don't have to pay for anything. So call one of those TV shows and let them know what your issue is. You have a housing choice voucher. You have your landlord that's not doing anything. And let me tell you, when the TV people get involved, it happens. And literally, they do work. I just had that issue with COVID, and my bill was like $55. They were trying to charge me because I had insurance. It was supposed to be free. They were trying to charge me $55 or $60. And so I was like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be free. Why you're charging me? Because I have insurance to administer it. That's what the cost was, to administer the drug. They were saying the drug was free, but they were charging me to administer. I called that 3 TV guy, and he got it done. And when I say I didn't have to pay nothing, nothing. And I had 3 different people calling me like, Angie, disregard that bill. You don't have to pay nothing. So call the 3 TV person, call your if your case manager isn't helping you with the housing choice voucher, then go to the next person. There's always an escalation process. If I wasn't helping them as my case manager, there's a manager that'll help me. There's somebody who's helping with that voucher that it's not being done. You're getting government assistance and you're paying it to somebody who's not getting it done. Take him to court.
And Victoria, you're talking to two people who've had experience with this. We're giving you, I mean, you came to a place to get a psychic read, which you're not getting because that's not what your question is. But the Angie's dealt with this before. As everybody knows, I owned a lot of property. When I say a lot, we're talking a lot of properties in Houston. And when we work with voucher program people, to have to enroll in a voucher program as a landlord, your place had to pass an inspection. You had to have a refrigerator. You had to have X, Y, Z. You had to have a operable heat and AC. You had to have solid plumbing and gas if you have gas. You had to have a stove. You can't expect them to bring a stove. You have to have that. You had to have dishwashers are optional. They were not necessary, but stove, refrigerator, absolutely. And I'm letting you know them clearly that if they're part of the program, these things are required. And again, if you're not getting the answers, it could be how you're approaching the situation or who. But the most important thing you need to do is follow through and put the pressure on and keep climbing the ladder. Believe me, this is not rocket science. This is the same thing that happens every day and every day and every day. And the landlord does not want to be kicked off the program either. So they're going to come through eventually once you raise the question to the right people and get the answers. So the only thing is, again, when you worried me, when you put out there that when you put out there about owing money, when you owe money, again, if you owe money to the landlord, I'm coming to the landlord side on that one because you should be current. If you're expecting a good
That's
quality,
what I was saying. How are you at owing the landlord money? They're paying.
Sometimes the programs they'll match a certain amount and then you cover the difference because they'll say based on your income you can pay $50, or based on your income you pay 100, we pay 900 or 1,000 or 200, whatever it is. And so you have that little teeny bit that required. That's probably the situation that's here. And if that's the case, then the landlord may be, but even if the landlord's irritated, I mean, they can't lock the door and take the key. If they do, they got to post a thing saying, here's where your key is, and this is how to get it. They can't take the door
You need
off.
to pay the rest of the deposit. Why are you just moved in and there's no refrigerator? How did the house pass inspection? Because before I could let anybody move in, there had to be somebody who came in and inspected the house before I could even move in.
They even
Did you
inspect
go through some back alley person and I feel like you didn't legitimately go through the process the way it's supposed to be, and it feels like you're getting the consequences of not going through a legitimate person. You know how sometimes it's Uncle Leroy's best friend or cousin that you went through and you're trying to scam the system a little bit. And so now you're caught up in a situation where he lets you get by with some stuff, but now he's not doing what he's supposed to do. And had you went the total legitimate way, you wouldn't be going through this situation. Because I can't believe that you had an inspection and there was no refrigerator in there and they allowed it to move forward.
So, Victoria, you just keep rattling the chains. You're probably going to get what you're looking for, but you're going to have to take some work. It's going to be on you.
And this is my other thing. Why would you move into a house that doesn't have a refrigerator?
Exactly. And when you did the preview, the walkthrough before you released it, you think that would have been something that rang a bell, but I don't know.
Y'all just take anything. Just you know what? I'll just move into this cardboard box if you take it. No, when I go, listen, I am very particular about my apartment. It needs to be first floor. It needs to be facing parking. I don't want to have to walk down a long hallway. No, they be like, well, all we have is second floor. Well, then all you have is nothing that I want. You are the person who has the upper hand right there. You decide what you want, and then you take that if that's what you want. And so I do understand that you're going through all this situation, but it seems like you agreed to something that wasn't up to par in the first place, and now you're wanting somebody to have sympathy on you to remedy something that wasn't correct when you first moved in. It's like you knew it's like you went to go and buy a car and you knew that there was transmission problems and you were like, oh, well, I'm going to take it anyway. Well, why would you take a car that didn't pass inspection, or a car that had transmission problems, or a car that didn't have a steering wheel? And then you're mad now that they won't put the steering wheel in. You saw what the problem was and you went ahead and went with it anyway. So I don't know what else to tell you.
Next in line is Tori Taylor. And Tori says, "Hello, everyone. I would like to know what can I direct my focus and experience to initial financial stability and abundance. I'm tired of struggling financially. I just don't know what to do to get out of the hole. First and foremost, again, the affirmation would give you a good start. Every day, Tori, you should be repeating this affirmation. I believe in infinite abundance. My wants and needs are always met. You have got to tell the universe that this is what you're anticipating. This is what you expect. This is what you want. If your vocabulary can be dangerous if you're not careful. So use your vocabulary.
This is the first thing I can say to you, Tori. What is your total monthly expenses? Do you know how much money is going out of your account every day? If somebody asks you how much money you're going out of your account every day, you should be able to say 27, 35, 45, 58. You should know exactly how much money needs to go out of your house to make your ends meet. And that does not include entertainment. That includes your basic necessity. What is my rent? What is my water? What is my electric? What is my food cost? What is my transportation cost? You should know that immediately. As soon as I say you should know that. So how much money is going out? How much money is coming in? Okay, does one of these not equal? Does the amount coming in not equal more than the amount that's going out? Then I need a second job or I need another job. If the industry, listen, I loved working in housing. I loved working in shelter care. Shelter care does not pay enough for an adult single mom to live and take care of her family. No way, no matter how much I love it, no matter how much I wanted to help people, no matter how much I wanted to do it, it does not pay enough. So what did I have to do? Get out of shelter care into another line of business that paid enough money. So even though it was something that I love and that I was passionate about, it does not pay enough. So if my A plus my B don't equal my C, then I need to figure something out that I need to make more money. So I found another career area that paid me more, and so now I'm in compliance. Compliance plays very well. Compliance allows me a different opportunities where I can do this in compliance. I can do regulatory compliance. I can do risk management compliance. I have so many different areas of compliance that I can go to that I always have options to change my thing. So what you need to figure out is what job will pay me enough money that what I bring in pays more than what I'm paying out. It's all about numbers. That's not about the Lord telling you what you need to do. That's about numbers and common sense. I'm an adult. I have children to take care of. These are my expenses. This is my income. I have 4 jobs. I'm not a person who coddles people who be like, oh, I don't make enough money. I have 4 jobs. My main job pays for my needs. My second job pays for my wants. And a lot of people be like, oh, I can't get another job because I got kids and I got this and I got that. You can find time to go to the club. And I'm not saying that that's what you do, but you find the time to do what you have to do. I don't have any excuses. I have to take care of my child. And if my ends don't meet, his ends don't meet. If I don't have a key to put my a door to put my key in, he don't have a door to walk into either. I have to decide what is more important to me. Is it the time? Is it having all this free time, or is it making enough money to take care of my kid? That's not about spirit telling me. It's about you finding what job pays enough money for you to take care of your family. So the first thing you need to figure out is, what are my expenses? Total expenses. And then what job pays enough? How much do I need to make to cover that and have a cushion? And so I got out of that survival mode where it was always just making the ends meet, just having enough, just having enough. And now I'm to the point where I have a goal of, this is how much money I want to save by the end of the year, or this is how many different residual incomes I have, or this is the other line of income I want to have. So you change your focus from survival mode to prosperity to abundance. So you decide what that has to be. That's not something that the Lord needs to tell you, oh, go get another job that pays you $5 more an hour than that. You don't need the Lord to tell you that. Them numbers on that sheet of paper should tell you that. So that's all I got for you.
Super. Well, I think with that, with what I was saying and with what Angie gave you, that's a great start. That's a good starter.
So you want me to tell you what you're good at? You said, I want to know what my other niche is. You want me to tell you what skills you have? Is that what you're saying? Because you said, I want to know what my other niche is. What are you good at? What do you like doing? Like I said, I loved working in shelter care, but it didn't pay enough. So I have the skills. I look for the job. This is what I have a degree in. They'll take this degree and they pay enough. I have this degree. They'll take this degree and they pay me more. What can you do? I don't know what your other skills is. It's like you want the Lord to say, you know what? You can add and subtract, be an accountant. You can read and write, be a teacher. You can read and write, take notes somewhere. You don't, y'all want the Lord to tell y'all how to live every single step of your life. Like he's the what's Geppetto, the guy who used to the puppet
Pinocchio.
master for, like, you know what I'm saying? You want somebody, you want to be Pinocchio, and then you want this person to tell you what to do. You are an adult. What are you good at? What skills do you have? Can you braid hair? Can you make clothes? Can you take care of some children? Can you do medical stuff? What is it that you can do? Are you good administratively? What is it that you can do that'll pay you enough money to do it? So you don't need the Lord to tell you what your skills are. Evaluate yourself. What am I good at? And then do it. I know what my skills are. There's something I should be putting focus on. I braid hair. That's an extra hustle. I make edibles. I created a journal. I'm being pulled in many ways. So you have to decide which one is going to make you more money. When I braided hair, let me tell you, I made a lot of money, but it took a lot of my time up. So is that the most appropriate one? You said you made a journal. Can you get that on Amazon? Can you create your own Etsy store? We just sat here and talked about an Etsy store. Etsy is things that you make yourself. So if you have a journal, can you get that journal on Etsy and get your link out? Can you do a video? That's free. All of these, you can advertise free on social media for your journal. You said that you make edibles. Are you showing people that you make edibles? What is it that you're doing? How are you getting the word out there that you can do these things? We can't do all things. Like when I worked for an attorney, everybody used to come in and be like, do you do personal injury? Do you do this? He says, no, I focus on these areas right here. You can't be good at every single area. You have to choose the ones that you are good at, or that you are, you know what I'm saying, that matter to you. And then that's what you do. You can't know every single area of law. So you have to decide which area is the most logical for you when it comes to your resources, your time, your money, your supplies, how difficult it is to get the process out, who are your customers, who you're trying to reach. And so what is it that works for you? With braiding hair and doing things like that, it took up too much of my time. I ended up with carpal tunnel, so I had to leave it. I had people that I had done hair for 5, 6, 7 years in the process, but it got to the point where it wasn't feasible for me anymore, and it wasn't conducive with my lifestyle. So what is it that you can do that'll cost you the least amount of money, but that will make you the most amount of money and take up the least amount of your time? And that's easy. And that journal seems to be the one thing that they're highlighting for me. You have this journal, you're printing it. There's a lady I know, she got her journal ready. She printed it all herself, and then she sold them on Amazon, or she sold them on her website, and she mailed each one out to you. The same way with people who have hair care products. I make them in home. I have them on my website. You order from me, and then I send it to you. You have to decide which skill is going to make you the most amount of money and the least amount of resources. Maybe what you need to do is take a business class so that you understand the cost benefit analysis of running a business and being self-employed. Because a lot of people think, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. Do you want to be an entrepreneur that's broke? It's all glamorous when you see somebody else doing it, but how many years did they have to build it up to get where they're trying to be? So that's what I'm saying for you. Your human design is a projector, and so you like hitting these dead ends when you attempt everything. I become unfocused and unmotivated. So I decide, let me tell you what's a great motivator for me: being homeless. That motivated me real quick. I don't want to get out there. I don't want to get on this live. I don't want to go and log into my job. I don't want to go to my second job. Being homeless, that motivates you real quick. That's the biggest motivator for me ever. Sleeping inside of a box, having my son to have to go sleep on somebody else's couch, that is a great motivator. So if you want to be motivated, think about sleeping on somebody else's couch. Think about being homeless. Think about not having no food for your children. That's the best motivator ever. Being unmotivated is a choice, honey. You can decide to move forward. The other day, I was so in my feelings. Me and Don was having our conversations. I was ready to walk away from this whole thing. Talked to Don a couple, for a while. Talked to my friend Julie. Talked to all these people, and then I got a different perspective. You're either going to do it or you're not. All these things about being unmotivated, that's a choice. If you want to do it, you'll do it. You'll find a motivation. And being homeless is a good motivator for me. I don't want to be.
Tori, let me give you this apology in advance. What I'm about to say is not going to land easy. So I apologize in advance if you or anybody else is offended. And if you are, well, so be it. You know what? You have a first world problem. You have opportunities. You have ideas. You can make things happen. You have a journal that is on Amazon. You have all these things, and you're out here whining and crying about every time we suggest something, you want to do something else, or you need to highlight something else. And think about the people who don't. Think about the people who have no ideas. Think about the people who don't have an opportunity or a challenge or are faced with issues. Think of the people who are not even able to leave their house for reasons that are beyond their control. Think of the people who don't have the developmental skills to do things like this, but would love to. You know, I mean, when I see this and I see the development of the conversation, and it really hits me, it hits me in a way that shouldn't. I'm triggered, I guess you would say. And that is I think you need to hear this. You need to stop looking at these things as a woe is me and say, damn, am I not fortunate? Am I not fortunate? Now, if your worst scenario is you can't focus because you have too many opportunities or you have too many different wonderful things, then where in the how is your appreciation? Thanks.
That is the most first world you can get.
Yeah.
I can't focus because I got too many skills.
Yes, you need to be thanking the universe, God, the creator, whoever you want to, that you are blessed with that ability to have that as a problem when there are people in this country and others who go to bed at night not knowing where their head's going to lay, not knowing if they're going to eat or not knowing when their next meal is coming, or if they will even have clothing when they wake up because it's stolen from them because they're living on the streets. You know, I mean, I don't mean to be a bastard about it. And so I apologize in advance. But my thing to you is, if this is your nightmare, if this is your drama, then be thankful that you have it and then work through it. Make a list, go through and figure out what it is you want to do best. You have ability to talk to spirit and find out how that's going to direct you. But most importantly, stop whining and bitching and complaining and moaning, because guess what? That is not the right way to be doing it. Use your affirmative responses. Look, I have amazing opportunities. What can help me best? That's a way to do it. Not, oh, well, with me, I hit a block because I get so bored because I have success. Damn, really? A lot of people would love to have that. So again, excuse me for being so bold and so blunt. Excuse me for being so rude to a degree, but I think you need to hear this from somebody. You have blessings. You are blessed. Embrace your blessings. Figure out what your priorities are, and then make a move and thank good Lord, God, Creator, whatever you want to call them, that they gave you so many blessings. That's it.
And then she's like, well, I want the Lord to tell me what I want to do. That's an accountability issue. If the Lord tells me to braid hair and it doesn't work out, then it's the Lord's fault because he told me to braid hair. It's not what the Lord wants you to do. The Lord wants you to do what makes you happy. Everybody wants to be like, well, what is it that spirit wants me to do? They want you to take some accountability and move forward. I don't need to tell you what to do every day. I don't need the Lord to tell me, Angie, you like to do reading, so that's what you need to do. I don't need the Lord to tell me, Angie, you like to be on live, so you need to get out there and be live. What is it that you enjoy doing? Of all the skills that you have, you said you took a skilled trade class to make more money. Did you take it just because it pays a lot? It reminds me of people who go into nursing because nursing pays a lot, not because they like doing the job. And so then they get burned out, or they have poor patient care, or they don't like the job. It pays what they want, but it doesn't give them the satisfaction that they need. So what is it that you like to do? It's not what the Lord likes to do. Take accountability for what you like to do, and then say, Lord, am I moving in the right direction? Is this the right thing for me to do? Don't say, well, I could do 15 different things. Lord, which one is it that you want me to do? What if he tells you he wants you to be a lawn jockey, or he wants you to be a maintenance worker? What if that's the thing that the Lord tells you to do? Is that what you go want to do because that's what the Lord told you to do? Like you like, well, I had a dream last night and the Lord showed me sweeping and mopping the floors at the school. I guess that's what I'm gonna do, even though I don't like it. The Lord done told me to do a lot of things that I didn't want to do, and I'd be like, absolutely not. I'm not gonna do it. We go have to work this out, and we go have to co-create this into a different way, because for the God in me, I'm not doing it.
And Tori, let me add one more point to my point too, especially, and that is I identify with you more than you can imagine. If you know anything about my history, you will realize, and if you know, and Angie and Kina and anybody who's around me knows that I'm doing 10 billion things at one time. I am off and rolling, and sometimes they're like, "Damn, you need to focus," because I do get off on 10 million things. I have some online stores. I used to be a landlord for over 99 properties in Texas, as well as a number of properties in Arizona. I have a law license and practice law. I was an I did the engineering thing. I have a real estate license and do real estate. I, again, like you, all over the place. And I have done a number of things and have limited successes in some and more success in the other, and great successes in some. But again, I never see that as a negative. I see that as a blessed opportunity to be able to try what I can. To be on lives like this is a blessing. To be doing other things. So the most important thing, again, is put it in perspective and realize, you know what? Do as much as you can in whatever you can. If you feel like you're not getting somewhere, close it off, shut it down, move on. But there, again, you are blessed with opportunities, with options. So see that as a blessing. See that as something to appreciate and enjoy. And Lord knows, again, when I got tired of the engineering field, I went into law. When I got tired of law, I went on into these other things. And so again, it is so important to know that I've been there. I've been in your shoes. I promise you. But I'm telling you that I saw it as a blessing and I've embraced it. Okay. So
So you just told me, Tori, that you don't want spirit to tell you what to do, but your comment was, I have a lot of different talents and I want to know what specifically spirit wants me to do. So how are you then telling me that I don't want spirit to tell me what to do? That is exactly the comment that you posted in there, is I have a lot of different talents and I want to know, is there anything spirit specifically is telling me to pursue? You want spirit to tell you what to do. So don't take, when I tell you that you don't want to take accountability, then say, oh no, I don't want spirit to tell me what to do. That's exactly the comment that you put in there, is that I want spirit to tell me specifically what to pursue. So I'm confused. And so what I'm saying is, the problem that you have isn't a problem. And like, if I was somebody who didn't have any opportunities, I'd be mad as hell at you. I'm so skillful. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. What should I do? And so what I'm getting from spirit specifically is, what do you want to do? Because you basically are boasting. I could do hair. I could do edibles. I could do this. I could do that. I could do that. I have 10 different things that I could do. I just don't know which one I want to do. So I need the Lord to tell me. There's people who can't even read, who only have one skill. And you're saying, I can't leave my job. Why can't you leave your job? Are you an indentured servant to them? You can leave your job anytime you want to leave your job. If the job doesn't pay you enough to be there, like, I don't understand what it is that you're trying to ask me to do. Like, you're saying you make enough money to pay your bills. If you're trying to make enough money to save money, then you get another job to make more money. The only way that you have more money is to make more money. I'm not understanding what you're asking me to tell you. Like, I finally found a job that paid me enough that I could pay all my bills. And then I said, oh, well, if I get another job, I can have enough money that I can save. And then now that I can save, I can set a goal that this is the amount of money I want to save. It's all about numbers. What is it that you can do to make you more money? You keep saying I get bored and then I quit and then I leave and then I don't want to do it. Those are first world problems. Those aren't even real problems that you have a spiritual issue with. You don't have a problem. What you have is a first world issue where you're saying, I'm so blessed, I just don't even know what I want to. I'm so blessed, I just get bored with the blessings that I have. Do you understand how that sounds to us on this side? I have all of these skills and I'm so blessed, I get bored with all the skills that I have. So, Lord, can you tell me what to do? And I'll do that because I'm just so talented that I can't even decide what I want to do.
And now I must admit, now I'm kind of confused too, because when I read the initial question, it says, hello, everyone, I would like to know, and back, I'm struggling financially. I just don't know what to do to get out of the hole. If you told us you had all those successes, then again,
Right, you said I make enough money, but your initial question was I'm struggling financially. So are you making enough money or are you struggling financially? And so that's the thing. And this is what I mean when we say tough love. We're not going to give you the fluff and be like, oh, another opportunity. You don't need another opportunity. You need to take advantage of the opportunities you have. You have all these different talents and you can't focus enough on one of them to make some good money. Like, think about that. I have all of these skills and I can't focus enough on one of them because I get so bored at how talented I am that I can't make no money.
she says, girl, I'm not good at this stuff. I'm trying to say, like, listen, I'm wasting time and money. I've tried all this stuff with no success. The thing is if you're bouncing around too quickly at too many things, you have to give
You
something
said
time.
you're wasting money. What are you wasting money on? Like, you are asking common sense questions, honey. I'm wasting money. Stop wasting money. Listen, when I realized that I was spending $100 a month on ice from Sonic, I went and bought an ice machine that cost $80, and then I had it for the whole year. Literally, when I saw it, listen, crazy, you buying 4 or 5 bags of ice from Sonic, you're spending $80 a month. Stop spending the money. Nobody's making you spend the money. Like, you're saying, I'm wasting time and money. What are you wasting money on? Don't waste it no more. Nobody's making you waste that money. You don't have to go to Starbucks. You don't have to buy fast food all the time. If I'm wasting too much money, stop doing fast food Friday, Angie. Stop eating out 3 times a week. What are your true expenses? What is your true income? And then what are the things you could cut out? What are you wasting the money on? Is it going out partying? Is it on fast food? Is it on clothes? Is it on entertainment? Stop doing those things. Nobody's making you do those things. The questions that you're asking aren't making sense to me. I'm wasting time and money. What are you wasting money on? And again, you want spirit to tell you what gift to focus in on. What gift do you like? God isn't just going to be like, oh, well, I think you should go ahead and just braid hair all the time if that's not what you want to do. You guys want to depend on an outside source. It comes from within. You are the source of your happiness. What makes you happy? And does that pay enough money for you? Again, I love doing shelter work, but it didn't pay enough. So I found another job that I love that paid more. I didn't have to go to God and be like, you know what, Lord, I don't like being in shelter care. Should I keep doing it or should I go and find another job? That's addition and subtraction. That's not the Lord telling me, Angie, you need to go find another job. Addition and subtraction. That's common sense. That's having a child. So I don't know what else to tell you, but I hope that that works out for you. The Lord is not giving me a specific skill that you need to take on, that you need to do. What they're saying is dig deep in your heart. What is it that you love to do? This journal honestly keeps coming up for me is because you like, the journal seems to be something where you provide a service to somebody else and that people can buy it and see that you have this skill. So the journal would be the thing that I'm thinking they telling you to focus on. And you don't brought Kina out the background. So Lord, you about to get it. We can't hear you. I don't know what the problem is. We can't hear you. I don't know.
It said network connection is really low for you, Kina.
Oh, so maybe that's what it is that you need to do. You need to work on the journal. But again, you needed an outside source to tell you something that you already knew. You enjoy doing the journal. You enjoy making the journal. So get out there and do it. I enjoy writing. I have a blog site. Not a lot of people visit it all the time, but I still enjoy doing it. And so I keep doing it, not because it makes me money, but because it's what I enjoy doing. We do these lives not because they make us a whole lot of money, but because we enjoy doing it. I do the other things to help me get to where this can be my main source of income. So I don't understand what it is that you want Spirit to tell you. Go sell your journals. Well, you already knew that that was something that you'd like to do. So just go and sell your journals. That seems to be something that's a high priority for you. And that doesn't take a lot of resources, and that doesn't take a lot of your time. Do that.
To help you with your quest, though, one other thing I would suggest is if there's any of your abilities that you would really like to focus on, list the ones that you do a separate sheet, fold 8 by 10, fold it in half, one side pros, cons. There's one side pros, one side cons, and then list all the pros and cons about that specific job or that opportunity, and do the same thing with each of them. And when you do that, again, think of everything and anything, pros and cons, list them. And then when you are done and you look at your lists and you say, okay, knowing these pros and cons, the cons are too overwhelming. I cannot do this. I'm not ready for this. Then you've made your choice. That goes away. And you continue to do that until you dwindle it down. If you're looking to get to one place, don't look to Spirit, look to yourself. Figure out, again, based on some kind of analysis, I guess the pros and cons would work very well in this case. Also look at, if you want to do it, look at economics. How much does it cost me to get into this field? How much am I going to get out of the field? How long would it take to get to where I need to be to establish, to make money at it? If that's a question, that's how you approach it too. But the point is you're going to have to do some analysis, looking to Spirit to give you that answer. I'm telling you, again, it's
That's religion, because that's how they teach you in church. What is the Lord's will for me? What did the Lord want me to do? I want to do what the Lord's will for you. And then they tell you that the Lord's will is for you to serve the church. So that's where you got to get out of that mindset of, I have to ask the Lord what to do. The Lord is like, what is it that you want to do? Get out of that religious mindset where I have to go to another person outside of me to find what my purpose is. If you're not in your purpose, this is the question that you can literally ask your higher power. How do I align to my purpose? How, and what your purpose is may not be what your career, may not be what makes you money. Remember that. So make sure you word your prayer to God in a way that gets you exact answer that you want. How do I align to the job that is going to make me the most abundant and able to take care of my family? Or you could just say our affirmation: I believe in infinite abundance and all my wants and needs are met, and let those things flow. I cannot believe that you're so talented that you have so many skills that you can't figure out which one you want to do or which one is the most passionate for you. I have a lot of skills, but this is what I like to do the most. Does it pay all the bills? No. Do I still do it? Yes. Do I do all those other things too because they pay the bills? Yes. So make sure that when you word your prayer or your intention or your question to your spirit, that it serves the purpose that you're trying to make. So you want to know, what is it that God specifically wants you to do? He wants you to be happy. He wants you to find that inner peace. He wants you to find the thing that gives you the most joy, that can take care of your needs. Or if this is the thing that gives you the most joy, maybe he can add some extra onto it or put that extra manifestation onto it so you can get what you want. But that's that religion telling you that you have to align your will with the Lord's will. What is it that the Lord wants from me? Get out of religion and get into that relationship with your higher power. Not what he wants, what we can co-create.
Right. And Tori, our intent is not to make it look shallow. The very first thing we did was put up a mirror and have you take a look in the mirrors, because sometimes the way in which we think of things, they seem very different once we hear them from somebody else. So again, the first rule, we did not want to make you look shallow. We wanted you to see a mirror and see what it is you're saying and the response back. Once you got that far, which is nice, then it comes back to you say you need guidance because you're lost. Well, of course, I understand that part. You are lost. But again, you're lost because You're lost in the analysis. And so go back and go back to what I was saying. Create some lists of pros and cons on each of the opportunities. But most importantly, you've got to find something and stay with it for a period of time. If you think a year is long enough to create a business, it's not. If you think 2 years isn't, there are people on Facebook and YouTube and other places that'll tell you, I can get you $1 million in 5 minutes.
Let me also say this, because she said the Lord don't speak to her, then you serving the wrong Lord. Because everybody, if your higher power doesn't speak to you, serving the wrong person, you serving the wrong person. Your God speaks to you all the time, through movies, through songs, through conversations. You're just not receiving. I can't believe that you're worshiping somebody or serving a Lord that doesn't speak to you. Then maybe you don't need to serve that Lord anymore. How dare you say that your Lord doesn't speak to you? What you're saying is you don't receive his messages very well. I can't believe that you are serving a Lord that does not speak to you. If that is the case, then maybe you need to find another higher power to seek out and communicate with, because the Lord is always speaking to you. Literally, I'll come and I'll see a bunny. That's abundance. That's the Lord speaking to me. That's abundance. That's rapid bunnies they're rapidly create more and more bunnies. So that's abundance coming in for me. If I dream about fish, then that's, you know what I'm saying, that's an old wives' tale of somebody being pregnant, but it's also prosperity. The Lord speaks to you all the time. You're just not receiving it. And if I remember well, you've come on here several times and said that you've received messages from the Lord. So don't come on here now and say that you're not receiving, when in the past, I know you've told me that you've received from the Lord. So then if I'm your Lord, I'm like, how dare you say that I don't talk to you, and I talk to you all the time? You don't receive very well. Start a journal and write to the Lord. Like, how can I help you? Come to me in a dream. Come to me in a song. Like, if you get a message from your like if there's a food that you want that your grandmother cooked all the time, that's your grandmother coming to you. If you're watching a movie and it enlightens something in your head, you're like, dang, I could do that. That's the Lord speaking to you. You think the Lord is going to come to you and be like, Tori, go and start a business doing this. The Lord doesn't always speak to you. The Lord speaks to you in so many ways. If you read the Bible and look at all the different ways, he set a bush on fire. I done told the Lord, look, you can come set a bush on fire and talk to me. He had people going to mountains and talking to him in clouds. The Lord speaks to you in so many different ways. How are you receiving? How are you asking to receive? Gideon in the Bible, when he wanted to know if he was making the right move, he said, okay, I'm gonna put this cloth out here, wet the whole ground and leave the cloth dry. That was the Lord speaking to him. He said, okay, well, I'm not really sure if that's really if that's really you speaking. So this time make the cloth wet and the ground dry. That was the Lord speaking. If you want the Lord to speak to you and you want to receive, tell him how you want to receive. Don't say that the Lord don't talk to you. Say that you haven't understood how the messages that he's sending to you. And then that's your prayer. How can I receive your message more clearly? So that's what I'm saying.
And you can be, again, if you're asking what Spirit's saying, we're telling you from our perspective. The reality is, if you are spiritual,
it's not about being a religious person.
Exactly. If you're spiritual and you believe in a higher power, that's who you speak to.
See, you get stuck on the words too, because I said God, you're like, oh, spirit, God, the universe. Everybody calls it something different. Don't get stuck on the semantics of the word or the word choice that I'm using. You said you wanted spirit to tell you, and then now you're saying you're not a religious person. You're contradicting yourself and confusing yourself. Whoever you were making reference to and asking to give you guidance, then that's who you need to communicate with and ask them to give you messages. It's not about religion, it's about relationship. You said tell spirit. So when I go to spirit, I go to your higher power, not my higher power. Who is your higher power? And if you call your higher power spirit, then that's who it is. If I say God, that doesn't mean that I don't also mean spirit. The same way, don't get stuck on the words that I use. It's not about religion. And you're trying to tell me you ain't never seen no parts of the Bible, even as a child? You ain't never heard no parts of the Bible? And in whatever higher power you're serving, they have to have some lessons for you to listen to in order for these things to make sense. So the Lord speaks to you in different ways. So don't tell me I'm not religious and think that that means that I'm not necessarily religious anymore, but I still got all that word from the Bible from when I used to be religious. Miss Linda said, Don, do you have a spirit present?
Something's happening because yeah. They've been messing with the video and everything.
So where did you get if you're not religious, where did you get the idea that the spirit has to tell you what to do? Where did you get that thing where you have to, where I need to go to spirit and tell me what to do? Where did you get that idea? How did that come to you? That had to be a lesson that was taught to you, or there had to be some connection for you to say, what does spirit want me to do? How did you get that connection? It's not about being religious. It's about a connection. So you specifically said, what does spirit want me to pursue? How did you get to that connection? What is the lesson that came about in your life, or the experience that came about in your life where you got to, oh, if I go to spirit, he'll tell me what to do? That's not necessarily religion.
You said you're not religious, but you just said you're going to church. I mean, Tori, you're killing me here. Every time we say something, it goes in a different. You're Lord Jesus Christ.
I get it, and I understand what you're like. Again, religion will have you all confused like that. I'm not religious, but I go to church to fellowship. Okay, okay. So you just sit. So you just you just go to your hug people and have a tea party. You don't listen to none of the words. You don't listen to none of the stuff that's going on. The whole purpose of church, they say, is fellowship. So you're listening to a word. You're not going there hugging people and then walking back out the door. You're paying tithe. Well, I gotta go pick up my son, so I'm sorry, whoever else is on the list. I gotta go.
No, we're done. That is the list.
And Miss Tori, again, this is the best thing I could tell you to do. Whoever you reach out to in your higher power, whoever you referring to as spirit, say this: how can I align my life with the abundance that I seek? What is my next step to getting to the abundance that I seek? And then you can also say the affirmations that we have. I believe in infinite abundance and all my wants and needs are met. How can I remove these roadblocks to spirituality so I can openly and clearly receive you? So those are the things that I would say. And it's not to beat you up, but it's for you to understand that you're confusing yourself. It's not the Lord that's confusing you, or spirit, or God, or however you refer to it. Just start with those things. How can I be open to receiving your messages, whoever your higher power is? And then how can I align with the clearest path to abundance? That's what you can say. And then tell them, come to me in a dream. Come to me as I write in my journal, and then be open to it and don't dismiss it as just a conscious thought. Like, oh, I was writing in my journal and I thought, oh, I should do this, this, and this. And you're like, oh, that's just my imagination. That's the Lord, and that's your spirit inspiring you. So go to your higher power and tell them how you want to receive, and allow them to speak to you. Okay? Because like I said, my guides, my higher power speaks to me in music, in movies, in people, in conversations, in writing, in meditation, in all different ways. So you just have to open up that channel and be able to receive. So the first thing I would say is, how can I align to receive your messages more clearly? That's the first thing you can do.
And while you do that, also do the analysis to understand the opportunities, where they're failing, where they're working, what works, what doesn't work. Because again, be ready for the answers, but do the work on the analysis part of it as well.
Hey, get over the religion and spirituality. You don't have to put a label on it. You don't have to define it for who are you making the definition for? You don't have to, because the first you said, is there a difference between being religious and spiritual? Religion is a set of rules and guidelines that they have for you, like Baptist, like Catholic, like Protestant. That's religion. That's a set of rules and principles and guidelines that you adhere to. That's religion. Am I Catholic? Am I Baptist? Am I Muslim? That's religion. Spiritual is my one connection to my higher power in a way that I connect to them personally, without all of the dogma that goes with each different kind of religion that there's out there. So you're stuck on the words. Spirituality is that one relationship with your higher power and being open to all ways of receiving. That's what spirituality was for me. Religion told me it was only Christ. It was only this way. It was this set of rules. It was this set of guidelines. Spirituality said, oh, you can receive through visions, through hearing, through dreams, through premonitions, through talking to other people. So spirituality opened up my receiving ability, where religion narrowed it down to I only can receive it this way, from this book, from this set of rules, from this person, from this way of from this path. So religion narrowed it, spirituality opened it up for me. So that's a difference for me. And like Miss Linda said, religion is a man-made system to control and brainwash you. And so that's clearly the difference for me. Religion narrowed it, spirituality opened it up for me. Gotta go.
With that said, we are done, folks. Thank you for popping in. Don't forget to hit love, like, share, subscribe, follow, all those things. Hit my Etsy store if you can. That'd be great. I would appreciate it. But most importantly, share some love and light out there to your family and friends. And we will see you. Adios later. Bye-bye.
Bye.